We are live, episode 538. What's up, Robert? Always first in the house.
The point of order, I was first here in this house. Thank you very much. So,
excuse me, I was the first one to get
Damn
on
it.
this call.
And I think I was second.
yeah.
I don't think you're in top
three is not
You
one,
don't count. You don't
I'm not
count.
here.
No, yeah. You're like
what have we been and what have we been up to?
Office
It's
furniture.
been a hell of a couple weeks.
It's been a weird couple weeks. Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Lucas, did you have any weird shit go on last week?
I did. I've had
Oh,
salmonella.
Right. Oh my god.
It was like somebody put a curse on NPR.
Nobody
We
had a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah.
I got COVID for the 7th time, 6th time. I don't know.
God
At this
damn it.
point, shouldn't you be immune?
I
Is
know.
it- where
I
is
said,
this natural immunity?
I don't
keep
know,
hearing
yeah.
about?
I call
This herd
bullshit.
immunity. Yeah.
Oh wait, can I say that? I could get canceled. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
that.
There's
But
an
in my
asterisk
case,
under
I'm-
the episode now. Yeah.
Yeah.
An
We're just
independent
gonna-
misinformation
Well,
board.
unfortunately, we're going to be deleting this now. This will be another lost episode. Sorry, everyone.
This
Yeah.
is Morelia Python Radio, brought to you by Pfizer.
How dare you? What's
Moderna
up?
or bust, asshole. I mean, yeah, but
I didn't get to pick.
Yes. So yeah, we're squeezing in this episode. And we got Dustin.
Dustin?
Ryan, Silent Hill Reptile.
Dustin, the king
got
of the
Pedro.
outdoors.
I'm saying,
Yes.
shouldn't Dustin be herping and finding a rattlesnake that pisses me off?
And having
Yeah.
the coolest dwarf monitor.
Does he? Oh, he has.
Got
He
the
added.
Perfect
Yeah.
Hilberensis.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
No, wait. Didn't he just add the one that Luke works with?
Store
God.
Eye?
No.
Dustin, tell us what monitors you have
Help!
right now.
Help!
Help him!
Ah.
He can't
What
do
is
it on
it?
his own. He can't
It's
remember
the
his
one
own
that
collection.
goes in the tree, like they're in the.
Whoa. Lizards go into trees? What is this witchery?
What
Like,
is this
you know,
witchcraft?
yeah, what is this black magic?
No, not Gillen.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
Gillen Eye?
Okay, that's
Gillen
it.
There
Eye.
he
Yes.
is.
How could I
Okay.
forget that name?
I don't. Lizards.
Kendrick, we were just talking about Bumblebee tuna the other day.
Yeah.
You
I would love to get somebody. I was going to ask you about this. Can we get somebody on NPR that knows Gila monsters?
know? Sure.
I'll ask Rob because I need to know what to do because I want Gila monsters. You know.
Oh, so this is a selfish thing.
Listen, how much of the show is constantly you wanting to know about this animal that you wanted to get? Come now.
99%.
Thank you.
Yes.
Zoolander
Yeah.
probably knows about him.
Zoolander.
He's just
Probably
sneaky like
does.
that. He probably
Does he
already wrote a
know
book
about
about him.
But does
Yeah, I know.
Justin know of the wild Gila monster? Not
How
do you
dare you, sir?
shut?
He
No.
found two of them.
No. He knows the wild Gila monster, how to
Well, he
keep
found
it and
one,
breed
right.
it in captivity.
You
That's
put
what
it
I
in
want.
a box. Give it a light bulb.
Thank you. Very
You
good.
put it
Thank
in
you,
a
Lucas.
drawer,
Shut up.
and
Well, no, because
Yeah.
you guys were I was listening to an NPR episode that I wasn't on, which are the only NPR episodes
How
I can
does that
listen
happen?
to. I don't know what happened with that one, but it was the pythons breeding year round with you, Rob, and Philipek.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
had fun on that
you
one.
guys were
Okay.
talking about Gila monsters, and Rob's like, well, when we set them up in those big horse troughs with like rocks and lights and stuff like that, nobody bred. But when we shoved them in a dark, desolate hole, like in a drawer,
Yeah.
eggs everywhere. And it's like, well, yeah.
Yes, it's true. This is true.
I could probably.
So what's the fascination with Gilas all of a sudden?
I've always had the fascination with Gilas, and I used to work with Gilas
Oh, okay.
when I was in my many younger years. But
Owen can't just have any lizard. He needs to have a venomous lizard.
Yeah, I mean, like, so there was kind of like that whole thing, and you're always looking for the next fun project, and I think Gila monsters are up there.
Don't Gila monsters eat squirrels?
I would love for it. I mean, listen,
What doesn't eat
I
a
see
squirrel?
your
Thank
play.
you. Like, listen,
I see
if
your
I
play,
if I
sir.
wanted that tree rat dead, I could easily dispatch him. It's just that they would quickly end up with half of my belongings going to somebody else. So if you catch my drift.
Jason's in the house. Jason, I have a mail for you. They'll know what that means. So
I hope it's a snake.
Yeah.
yes,
Let's start guessing,
It is.
Lucas. Is it a IJ?
Ooh.
yeah, it is.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Next.
I don't care anymore. Next.
Yes.
Like, it's-
How dare you guys? Oh my goodness. I did have, well, yeah, I had I had COVID again.
Yep.
Had a death in the family, had another death in the family, had a hospital, father-in-law was in the hospital. Oh man, it's just been crazy. So yeah, I just feel like NPR has been off for like the past 3 months, man. I just
it
can't.
has, man.
Yeah.
It's just it seemed off. I know that while you were all doing that, Jim had a heart attack and we were in
How's
the
he doing?
hospital. He's fine. Piss me off.
That big old bloke.
Asshole.
We can curse at him now that he's out of the hospital.
Exactly. The second
You
he got out of
son of a bitch.
second he got out of the hospital, I dumped his ass in the ambulance loading bay. I just there. He had a heart attack. He was in the hospital for about a week. They did a bunch of tests. There's stuff of that. He's fine. And now, of course, he's already like cheating and raging against his like heart healthy diet and things like that.
Oh,
So
he can't have a pig anymore.
dude, are you kidding me? It's like now we're just constantly watching him. It's like, what are you doing? Nothing.
And he can't drink, right?
Right. So it's like,
God,
I'm
that's
like,
miserable Jim.
yeah. I'm like, do I have to count all the beer at my house before you come watch the dog? No,
Oh.
maybe. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So
So
Yeah.
it resolved itself on its own, though. They didn't have to go in.
they went in, but they couldn't find a clot and there was no damage to his heart. So they're like, it
Okay.
was a fluke. And I'm like, go back in and try again. Because the second you tell this man that this was a fluke or that it was weird or that he's doing everything correct, like, no, go find the goddamn problem. Because now he's like, well, it was a fluke. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's like, yeah,
Gotcha.
that's what
Yes.
we're doing. But
So yeah, we were back and forth on whether we were going to do a show this week
Yeah.
or not, but we just squeezed it in. We figured, what the
Yeah.
hell? I know.
and Lucas had cholera, so we had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Loafman had cholera. I had
Jeez.
salmonella.
Both
Oh, my
horrible. I mean, my God.
Yeah, that actually happened.
I think I had in high school, I had a social studies teacher that like went abroad and came
I
home,
did too.
and they had like and they ended up actually contracting malaria. And like the small hospital near our hometown was like, holy shit. It's like, so every time I hear about people getting those like weird diseases, I'm like, the hospital must have had a field day with you. They're teaching classes in your room.
I never thought I was going to get salmonella. It was very strange. And like the state public health department called me and gave me like a 45-minute interview to find out if they need to like recall some romaine lettuce or something. They're like, what did you eat 13 days ago at 2:30? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, cool that they do that, but yeah, crazy.
Did you
That's
tell
intense,
them?
man.
Did you tell them that you have reptiles? Because you were like, were you concerned?
I was just answering the questions,
Okay.
like, and then eventually, like 35, 40 minutes in, they got to the part about animals. And apparently I'm the only person she's ever interviewed that said yes to the reptiles. And she's like, wait, really? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh,
We got one, Joe.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God!
She's like, how many? I was like, hey, the eggs are hatching these days, maybe like 80.
Let's
and she's like,
say-
what?
Let's say 12. Let's shoot low numbers.
Yeah.
It
You're
was
not
funny,
supposed to
though.
lick your fingers after scooping up the reptile.
Stop.
I don't know
Kid-
what to
stop
tell you guys.
kissing
The only
garter
way I've
snake.
been breeding all these things is by giving them little smooches first. Like
Every night when
That's
Lucas,
the secret.
every
the
night when Lucas
blackheads,
turns
they
off all
weren't
the
gonna
lights,
go.
Good night. Every single snake is good night. Good night.
Good night, sweet snake.
It takes him
Good
an
night,
hour
sweet
to get rid of, to get through all the garters. He's like, just,
Oh God!
Oh man.
Why does your lip smell like Mexican garter snake musk? Don't ask questions.
don't ask questions.
Speaking of colubrids,
Yes, please.
yes.
Out of all of them,
What? Out of all the colubrids?
out of all the colubrids,
I got a corn snake.
You get a corn snake.
An Okatee corn snake. Yes.
You had Okatee corn snakes at one
I
point.
did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
I respect it. Now, walk us through the decision-making process. What are you going through?
So yeah, I'm going through
decision-making process.
midlife
I like
crisis for snake keeping, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we started. I think what had happened is we started talking about herping in 2024, where we're going to be going and what we're going to be doing. I was pretty excited about that. And as far as keeping, you know how I'm trying to like slowly move into more naturalistic type of setups and stuff. And I think that like I guess I need something to inspire me to go into the snake room again, if that makes sense. Right. Like I need like that, and it's probably after I come back from the trip, you know, whatever. But
because Florida, you're gearing up for Florida at this point, right?
Yeah, I think I'm.
Yeah, dude. If you're in Florida, away. Yeah, you're in Florida when I'm in Scotland, so it's like 10 days.
Yeah. So I've been reading The Art of Keeping Snakes. Right. I don't know if you guys have read that book or not.
It's over there.
You know, yeah. We've talked about that one. No,
it's a good one.
So it's like the first time that they started talking about bioactive and keeping naturalistic and live plants and how you incorporate that. And like, you know, Philippe sort of talks about how you can set up enclosures to sort of stimulate different behaviors that if you kept it in, he calls it the LAM, laboratory something maintenance or something like that. So, I forget what it's something like that. But anyway, it's basically like what we would say is a basic setup, you know, newspaper, water bowl, hide, that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, you wouldn't necessarily see certain behaviors. I'm sure you've seen that with your garter snakes. Do you see that with your diamonds outside?
That
your diamond pythons
do more things.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I think
they do more thingies like activity. They do more snake stuff.
Well, I
mean,
thingy.
I'm really into Zach's book.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yes.
I don't have any plans of keeping any of those species ever. I should say ever, but like I don't plan on adding like false water cobras or anything like that, right? But
it's been fascinating even so with just some of the ones that
100%.
I didn't know that ring necks and sharp tail snakes were dipsadids, you know, like
yes.
I was reading the whole chapter on the tricolors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like must get other hawk nose,
and I think
different, weird, non-Western. Like, yeah.
We were sort of talking about this before the show started, but it's probably because I've been listening to like finally catching up like on a lot of their recent episodes. Like I was staying up to date with it, but I kind of fell off because it's just, you know, there's so many podcasts and whatever, and I wasn't listening through it like through, you know, it's like I don't know, I don't keep this one, that's got to go, I don't keep this one, you know, that kind of thing. But I started wanting to like learn about species that I don't know about, right? It's like maybe that's it. I feel stale, like it's not like what else can you learn, but like when you start learning new shit, you're just like, oh wow, that excitement sort of pumps again, right?
Yeah,
right.
And it's especially cool when you don't have any interest in necessarily wanting to keep.
There's no chance.
She's like, there's no like running to Morph Market and being like, oh, I gotta get, you know, that's kind of thing.
Which is a shame because I know a guy that's got a bunch of false water cobra that need them to go away. So you know,
yeah,
really cool if you like, you know, help that guy out. But yeah.
You want me to take one by helping you out? No, yeah, so I've been slimming down the collection, right? So I've wanted to like not be in that overloaded situation where it's just basically I'm changing water bowls and changing shit, you know what I mean? And I'm not really like enjoying the snakes or really learning anything or anything. Yeah, and that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Man who only spends 2 hours a day just shoveling shit and paper and what kind of life is that? I don't know.
Yeah. And I really was I think I was inspired. I don't know if that's the right word, but like when Zach was sort of talking about like trying to be the bridge between the academic, I call natural history world and the hobby. And it sort of started me thinking, like, actually taking a look at the hobby and sort of like, I don't know, an honest look, I guess, if you will. You know what I mean?
Don't do that. That's like,
he's
that's
so
like,
uniquely perfect to be that person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else that is that like bridge. And Dr. Zach. He's like, he's Zach, but he got forced to be a doctor.
They made him do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so next week, so I guess where this had all started is that I was talking to him about he was talking about he's trying to line up this thing and he needed stats and all, so we were kind of going back and forth, and he had this idea that he's working with some other guys and stuff, sort of trying to bridge those worlds, if you will. And but I'll let him take care of that. But anyway, we started talking. I was like, we haven't had a show with Zach in a long time, and I was like, if I could talk to him, because I remember we did the whole show on digestion and stuff, and it was like one of my favorites. Like, it was just
I need to hit that one again.
And I thought, thermoregulation is something that, like, I don't know if people really understand. Like, I know I don't, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I think this would be one of those topics where it could be relative to people keeping snakes, but at the same time understanding what's really going on, if you will, right? And so I talked to him and I said, hey, you want to do a show, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, man. It was thermoregulation, and we were going to do it last week, and then all that shit happened. And he also wanted to do, he's like, let me dust up on this, So I said, all right, let's do it at the end of the month before we kind of go away. And so that'll be coming out probably, I guess, when we're gone or whatever. But I don't know. That's where we're at. Anyway, corn snake, back to corn snake. So
corn snake,
I've been wanting to sort of, like, since I've thinned out my collection, if you will, obviously I'm still going to have carpets and pythons and stuff. I love all that stuff. Antaresia, olives, that kind of stuff. But I was like, what can I get that I can just keep? I don't care about breeding it. I don't care about, like, if it's a male or female. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to take a shot at setting up a naturalistic enclosure with live plants and see if I can keep those plants alive and what is the experience like. So I'm like, well, what kind of snake can I do it? And I don't know. There's just something about Okatee corn snakes, that orange and black. To me, just like, it's just
definitely my favorite corn.
I mean,
they're
come
pretty.
on. I mean, it's just, you can keep your morphs, you can keep all that stuff. I'm not interested in all that, and they're all cool stuff, and I'm not poo-pooing that at all. But, like, there's just,
that was my first snake in 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah, and I just thought, well, it's something that's not too big. It's something that I can appreciate. I know it's kind of like one of those. It's a beginner snake. It's
well, I mean, you went to corn snake. I'm like, I have rhinos here. You could have taken one. Like, it's
maybe at some point, but I want to have, like, those. I want to have like a little group of it's Justin Julander. He also inspired that kind of, like. He has, like, he has those king snakes that he has from Utah locality, and, like, just, it's like he doesn't plan on being the king snake guy or anything like that, but it's just like, it's cool to have, like, a couple of those things. And I thought that I could scratch that itch with lizards, but obviously with the being allergic to bugs, that doesn't help. So I can't really do it with that. So I thought, well, let's try that and see how that goes. So I set up this enclosure, did, like,
and you did this smart thing where it's like, I'm like, I wanted to scratch the itch of having a pet snake. I got a retic. You did the smart thing and went, like, corn snake, as opposed to, like, right now where I'm sitting, I'm like, anybody want a retic? Like, I got to get her out of here.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know. It's freaking cool, man. It's cool that it's almost like I had that fascination that I had when I was a kid, and, like, staring in those little critter keepers, looking at the garter snake, just like, oh my god, look at this snake. This is so cool. And it's just, I don't know. It's just like those, maybe it's like midlife snake crisis or something. Yeah, who knows?
I was about to say, you're not keeping it in a critter keeper, right? We have advanced a little bit more.
No, yeah.
It's got like a
I got it in an Exeter type of thing. Yeah, I went and got, and I did it right. I went and set everything up before
before you got the snake. Yeah.
Before I got the snake, and see whatever. It's got some cool play, but it's still not the way I want it. But this is sort of like a trial run, if you will. So
it scratches a different itch. I mean, I certainly, kind of had a similar thing when I was doing my garters, and I also had like a bioactive live planted thing for a Vietnamese blue beauty for a little while, and like you said, it draws you in a different way. What was your approach for like actually setting up the bioactive thing and picking your plants and your cleanup crew and yada yada yada?
So my sister helped me a lot with that. She sort of has like I honestly, I don't particularly know what. Apparently there's some kind of sought after bug.
I suppose.
My sister did something or other, and I just threw a snake in it. Yeah.
You got rubber duckies in there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's it.
I have some right here.
Yeah. There you go. See, exactly.
They are sought after.
I sort of laid out the
she's not wrong.
Right. Yeah, they're telling me like some crazy thing. Oh, these bugs are like this amount.
It's actually the genus Cubaris, I'm ashamed to know.
Oh, there you go. And not for nothing, it's kind of like with Owen. He's got all these different species that he gets to sort of like dib and dab into, and I was like, well, he can't have all the fun. Like, and then
you don't want to be like Owen. That's a terrible place to be.
No. Been there, done that, buddy. Eric is never going back. But I don't know. I that's sort of where I was at. But anyway, I set up the drainage layer. I put the I guess it's like the screen, if you will.
Yep.
And then I had like a mix of like my sister helped me with this one too. It was just I think there's vermiculite in there, there's moss in there, there's cypress molds, the coconut fiber, some plant stuff, that kind of stuff. So it's a good soil. The thing that's missing though is like I don't have the leaf litter yet, like the way I want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have some in there, but it's not like a one. And
it's hard to make that look natural
real,
sometimes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought when I go down to Florida and herp, I can take some pictures and sort of get the
lay of the land,
get it right, especially if I do.
And I assume you're not sticking with the only North American native plants. So like, did we kind of step out of that a little bit?
I did, but I would like to have it to where it is those plants, because I was listening to Project Herpetoculture, and they had a gentleman from Germany. I can't remember his name, but he's a plant person, and he was sort of talking about how his success with some of like the Spilotes and like some of the bigger colubrids, like that you would not think that would necessarily do good with that, because he's using plants that are from the areas of the snakes that he is keeping. It's much easier to keep those plants alive.
I burn $15 a year on a hanging plant for my rhino rat snake, like a fern, because that's where she puts the eggs and that's where everything happens. So every year I get it, but every year it dies because most of the time those hanging plants are ones that are supposed to be like outside in direct sunlight and all that fun stuff. So yeah,
I think I get most excited, like even a long time ago, like whenever I see people that have like these amazing snake rooms where it's, what I'm talking about, where it's just
perfectly uniform and green and clean and
that's all I want. That's all I want is perfect angles.
Does that make sense? That's where I'm going. That's my idea of like where I want to take my reptile keeping thing. And then I think it's definitely doable, and I have it around the house, and it's also another part of the hobby, I guess, that keeps me out of the drama and the bullshit and all that kind of stuff, if you will.
I mean,
but
it's like a more multidisciplinary, like all-encompassing nature in a box, not just the snake.
Right.
Yeah, because I am interested in plants as well. But I guess I was a little bit inspired by the book because Zach's book because it's kind of like I guess me and you were sort of talking about it. It's the way it reads.
I love
reads,
his
it
writer's
reads
voice
very well.
Yeah.
And
Not dry at all, and that's
yeah.
impressive. Because the taxonomic history of the colubrids could have been really dry.
It'd be really hard to slug through. Yeah.
So anyway,
it's still going. Oh, okay, yeah. So.
Yeah, there's some interesting snakes. Like, me and Chris Salemi were talking about it. It's like kind of like maybe having like an egg eater or something like that. Just something that's just like so like wildly obscure. I know the ones that we saw out west. What shit? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on it now.
Is it a colubrid or
night snakes?
Night snakes. Okay, yeah.
I really like them.
Those
I thought
cool.
They were cool. Something like that. They're small.
Yeah, I saw them on King Snake after we got back from Texas. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at, where my head is at, and we'll see.
Where my head is at, there's going to be a blue light special. Get these things out of my goddamn house. Yeah.
Hold on. We got Michael here that has a question about carpets real quick. Let's see.
I think we know some stuff about carpets. Yeah.
I think so. So. Let's say. Honest question coming from someone that has been researching carpets for a couple of years. Want to get my first one. Should I go with a jungle or an inland size? Not really my concern. What would make a better pet in your opinion? Inland.
It depends on the animal. So I would say normally you're going to have normally jungles have that reputation of being nippier as babies. I have jungles that are nippy as babies and then totally aren't when they're a year old. Just you need to understand is that you can also have a nippy inland. It's a little bit less unheard of, but it could still happen. And you kind of can't save that as the cover of I went with this because it's not going to be a baby python. It's still a baby python. So I would say that if this is your first foray into Morelia, I feel like an inland would be a lot more forgiving of keeper error. And also they do get to pretty impressive size and also normally are more docile of the two. So I would say inland.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, you're always playing the odds because, I was going to say kind of what Owen's saying. They are individuals. You can have a super tame jungle. You could have a nightmare jungle. You could have super tame inland. You could have a nightmare inland. But, the odds are probably more favorable on an inland not being a nightmare.
and that being also...
said, I was also just going to say a male Brettles could possibly be equally as great of choice.
Diamonds can be a little nippy.
The issue I have is that people tend to ask about, the personality or the attitude of a hatchling. Like it's a couple months old. It hates everything. It's just that's just the way it is right now. And when they get older, they're like, well, what's its temperament? I don't know. I open the drawer, throw a mouse at it, and close the drawer. Like it bites everything I show it, but that's all I'm doing.
It's a tricky one to answer. Like
it is.
I do personally feel like, especially because I'm not at a massive scale, like when that's important to them, I absolutely will go over to the baby rack and wiggle my fingers and see like how much of a dick that particular
it didn't like
is.
that one.
Yeah, like I know not everyone can do that. Not everybody cares to do that. I have no issue with that, but it's tricky because on multiple occasions I've gone through that process, specifically picked out a chill baby, shipped it across the country,
and it loses.
And apparently, it's a nightmare. Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, it's all the time to me,
Yeah,
we've had that where it's like this thing is a wild creature, and then Eric's like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like it's so, but I feel like with breeders, when you start setting a routine for the animals, they start getting calmer, and it sets in better. So, like my babies. The hatchlings, everything's kind of all crazy because I'm scooping them up and I'm putting them into a holding container and I'm cleaning their bin and then I'm scooping them up and I'm putting back in the holding container. as they get to about a year old, now we start introducing like a small little baby hook. Because if you try to hook a baby carpet python, you're just jabbing the hook in there and then the carpet's gone and you're just like, oh shit. Yeah, it's easier just to grab it. So when you start introducing the hook, I will say that my white lips from last year have started to calm down because now, you know, the hook them into their container. They know I'm not in there to feed them, so they're not like on point trying to bite everything in sight. So if you're concerned about temperament, possibly getting an older animal, year and a half, is the better way to go because the personality is developed. They're getting a little bit more I don't want to say mature or comfortable with their surroundings, how things work, what things happen. But you know, the people don't want to. It's like puppy syndrome. People always want a puppy because they're like, then I'll have it for its entire life. The fucking thing's gonna live to be 20 years old. You can skip a year or two, okay?
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
Totally.
Yeah. Michael, I can give you advice in this way. I mean, I sort of went the route of IJs when I was first getting into carpets, simply because he just made a statement. I feel like jungles are always a person's first go-to when it comes to Morelia, and I would go to go against the grain, something different than the average person, right? So the reason that I went with IJs is because at the time there was only like a really, really small group of people that were really keeping them. And I just felt like they had a lot of potential. And not to mention at the time, inlands were not available at that time. They were in the States, but they weren't bred yet.
Also kind of why I say, you know, maybe also look into a Brettles, because if you just get a normal Brettles, you're going to be $700 cheaper than an inland, and you'll actually be able to find one.
Yeah. So when it comes to the nippy part, I got to ask you this. Is it the hypo that is the one that can be a little bit
for Brettles?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hypo line seems to be a little more high.
Are we talking babies? Because I think baby stonewashes are psychotic.
That one I got from Robert.
Oh, I have never had a baby be psycho if it wasn't hypo. Well, my Lazic stuff is super chill. Even
you know what has actually has become a bonkers animal here is the coastal hypo that I got from Eric. That I think is the coastal hypo I got from Eric. How many coastal hypos have you given me?
How many Eric? Is Eric?
How many Eric? Like,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the hypo part.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, my bad. You said the coastal, and I didn't hear the hypo, and I'm like, what coastal is he talking about? Oh yeah, that one. I forgot. I gave you that. Okay.
Yeah, it's become a psychopath. It just
we're gonna get in trouble. We're doing a breeding loan.
We're doing a breeding loan with hypos, and we're getting trouble. Yeah.
Bad carpet breeder.
You two are in Morelia timeout.
Yes.
We invented Morelia timeout.
Yes.
You know, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that all the Brettles that I have had over the time have been pretty chill. My inlands have been pretty chill. My IJs have been pretty chill. But I will tell you this: the Exantics, don't go near the Exantics if you want to chill carpet. They are not chill. I don't know what it is about them.
Let's find out.
Yeah, there we go. And for the listening audience, Owen has grabbed a baby rough scale python.
I will do that at any moment, at any time. You don't even need to ask. Look at it. It's fine. Look at it, it's adorable.
They are pretty cool.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Snakes on with the little eyes.
Did you guys love it so much. Casey Lazik's picture of a baby roughy doing the
his display? Was gorgeous. Yeah,
that was cool. When I had my pair, they never did the threat display.
You have to piss them off so bad to get them to do that. I have only ever seen it once, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be what I would think. Did you guys see that Raphael Dahl from Europe produced another clutch of Helm Harris? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
striking pythons, which is pretty cool. I guess this puts let's see, what is it? This
did Shane get them?
Shane got them.
Shane got them this year.
So what is it? So there was the first one was at the Oklahoma Zoo.
Right.
Then Shane and Chuck produced them.
Didn't Blake Bauer produce them as well, or was
I
that, or does he do that in the Oklahoma Zoo?
I'm not 100%. For some reason, I think you might be right there, Owen. I know the
Yeah.
first time he did it, it was at the Oklahoma Zoo. I want to say maybe he did it privately as well. But as far as I know, I thought there was only 3 people that produced them in the States.
Okay. I think he's one. I think. All right.
And I know there was somebody in Europe that produced them. No, maybe they were somewhere over there. They produced. I can't remember. I want to say it's like Repta something was the people. They produced a clutch of Halmahares and now, which is pretty cool. Do you think that now that you're seeing them, more readily produced, do you think that that will be something that Shane got 2 clutches?
2 clutches this year.
I think so. Yeah.
Way to go, Shane.
Shane being a little bit of an overachiever there, with he will now get double credit. I would like to think, especially because now you're hoping that there's a lot more captive born and bred babies in circulation, and that it would just kind of be the getting the people who have the captive born and breds that will follow kind of the same steps that were laid out by the other breeders. And maybe it'll be a little bit easier, like maybe less triggers need to be hit in order to get them to breed. So you kind of hope it would start turning that ship around.
I don't know. My experience with them has always been, I think you're right, Owen, that I think that they're just a super sensitive python. They're super shy, I think, at least in my experience. However, I wonder how much of the experience that I've had has because they're coming in half dead or on that.
I think that does set you behind the 8 ball a little bit when it's clinging to life. It's hard to get it to kind of settle and breed. Yeah.
You know how it can be like where you'll have, snakes will come in and they seem fine and they're doing great, but they're super mellow. It's kind of like walking around with a croc monitor on your shoulder at a show when it's like 70 degrees and it's 70 degrees in the show. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, oh, wow, this is super chill. Yeah, because it's frozen.
If you ever go to one of the large shows, there's always insert weird ass lizard here that is being passed around the show that now is going to appear at every YouTube channel that's there. I think when we went, like 1 year, it was a croc monitor. The next year was like a caiman lizard. And I'm like, what is happening? And it's usually this gorgeous looking animal that you just never see. And it's only out for the first day. And it never touches a cage. It's passed around. People film it all the time. And then the second show, mysteriously, it's gone. Like, and I'm like, well, clearly it's not doing well. Or
Speaking of not doing well,
he left.
The Podfather has left the building.
Happens sometimes.
No, especially those caiman lizards, man. Those are not
weird
hardy.
Lizards. Yeah, and
at least the imports, and
and also it's like this is they're the snail. They're primarily a snail eating.
Correct.
It's like congratulations, you now have to deal with that. Like why?
Yeah, pretty insane.
Things happen.
To finish the thought, though, I was just also going to say for Michael's, what carpet python should I get? I would also just definitely heavily weigh which one you like the most, to be honest.
Yeah.
Regardless of species, reputation, because if you get one just because somebody like me on the internet says they're usually more friendly, but you really wanted the other one because they look cool, eventually you're going to get the other one anyway.
Yeah. And you're going to be a lot less tolerant of the one that was like, it's put it this way. Thank God my IJs are well behaved, because I'll be very, very put one toe out of line. You don't need to be here. So it's one of those things.
I know Eric, and I know how to get to his house.
I can get you out immediately. I'll drop it. I won't even tell him you're coming. Like, I'll just drop him off. So it's that whole thing of that, you know, and I've tried various other animals where, like, you know, I've had a pair and for some reason it just wasn't really meshing. And I kind of feel like that be kind of like the way if you kind of just go with what people are recommending as opposed to what you really want, because you can kind of, you'll get it and then maybe you're just not feeling it, and that can definitely happen, and then you've got to rehome it, get something else, all that other fun stuff.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah,
100%. So how are those baby roughies doing?
They're like great.
Good.
Eating.
Yeah.
I just got 8 more of them.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I have.
This finally the year, you know?
No, it needs to stop.
As long as I've been listening to NPR, you've been talking about how much you want to build your army of
and it is here.
spiky pythons, and 2023 was the year.
So the first clutch I didn't pop like I would like any other kind of python, because I was in my own head, and somebody somewhere told me, you don't pop chondros, you don't pop roughies, you'll kill them, you bastard. And so I didn't, and I've been saving their sheds because I'm going to send for DNA test. The second clutch, I'm like, I got spares, and I started.
All right, so all their tails are fractured,
all are broken, they're all the spines are. So I started popping them, and very little pressure.
Yeah,
just kind of touch and hemipenes. So I know for a fact I have boys, and then I have females that I'm probably going to send their sheds away for DNA test just to confirm it.
Nice,
but it was a lot. It was very easy to sex them right out of the egg.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think with a lot of that stuff, like most of the time you can do it. I think that people have that, like, don't do it because a lot of people are really not very good at doing it.
Well, but also it's like,
you don't break it.
You don't need to you don't need to like snap it. It's like,
well, that's what I've noticed a lot, is that when people aren't great at popping snakes yet, they think it takes a lot of force.
Does not.
But if you're doing it correctly, it's more of like a roll. You're not even necessarily
just kind of like, you kind of just almost like
there really doesn't need to be force. Yeah,
there doesn't. There really doesn't. And I've kind of now adopted the thing of like, well, I'm going to try, and then if there are no hemipenes, if hemipenes come out, I know for a fact this is a male. And then it's anything that I don't have hemipenes come out is probably a female.
Right.
I may want to double check.
Exactly.
I may want to get a DNA test depending on what it is. Do I have a wait list for roughies? No. So,
nice.
So far there are only 2 rough scales that are accounted for. Those have to go to Eric, because I've sworn some sort of blood oath that, you know, if I don't give him a rough scale out of my first clutches, I will surely die. The rest of the roughies are up in the air. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I will sell some of them. I know I will.
Wow.
But
2020 Owen would slap you.
I can't keep that. The last clutch.
Tell that to past yourself.
The last clutch was rather male heavy. Okay. So I cannot keep that many boys. When I figure out what the other clutch was, I will kind of figure out what I want to do as far as
yeah. When I was sexing my Brettles clutch that just hatched, for a second I thought that I completely forgot how to pop snakes because the first 5 were girls. And so when that happens in a row, you start to be like, there's no way. I'm doing this wrong.
When the clutch is female heavy, you will second guess yourself every fucking minute because you're like, oh God. But
where are they?
And then when you get on a run of boys, you're like, I'm doing this right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
right.
like,
and then you go do the girls again. You're like, son of a bitch.
Exactly. They're all right. They're all girls. Like that.
I'm good.
My Madagascar hognoses last year, I had 3 clutches, and I had, out of those 3 clutches, 3 males. And it was like 8 eggs a clutch. So I'm like, these numbers don't make any goddamn sense. And it's like, well, it's a 50-50 shot per fucking egg. So yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yay! We did it. Whew.
You handled it?
Yes.
I knew you was good. It was a test.
We even talked about snakes, Dad.
We even talked about how, we've talked about your snakes. We talked about your rough scale pythons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How they doing?
They're eating.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
They're starting to take non-live fuzzies, so I'm gonna make you get. Once I figure out which ones are boys and which ones are girls, I'm gonna make you take them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The more you get out, the faster. The better.
I have to get them out, and then I'll probably be like, okay, those are gone. The rest are mine. And then I need to like bottom out again. Like, be like, okay, there's too many snakes. I need to let like
What
one
are you trying
go.
to get rid of? What do you have?
What? Rough scales, false water cobra, carpets galore, Madagascar hognose, rhino rat snakes. What do you want? I got it. What do you want?
Rhinos are pretty cool.
I got you rhinos.
Yeah. He said it.
Owen's gonna send me home with. I'm gonna be like, wait, there's supposed to be 2 snakes here.
Like 5.
Why is there a false water cobra here and
Don't worry about
a rhino rats? I don't understand. This is not what I wanted to do.
Those,
You know,
I'd never been more nervous about a baby snake in my life than the freaking false water cobra. Because I'm like, gently. I'm hooking you out gently. I'm gonna put you over here, and like it hoods. I'm like, no. Like, just close it. Yeah.
I know that Nipper disagrees.
Nipper,
Think you need to be that careful.
Nipper sent me photos and all these other things, and then Travis is like, "There's a book about venomous snake bites from non-venomous." I'm like, "Stop it!"
Yes.
So, like, yeah,
I understand that they deserve respect.
Getting
but
bombarded.
I have also seen so many people get chewed on and nothing happened. I know. It can. I have a dear friend who died getting stung by a bee. I get it. I'm just saying though, there's worse things than a false water.
There's a lot, so I have to. I still have to sex those, which means I got to shove them in a tube. So,
oh, that sounds like fun.
Well, I was gonna ask you what you're doing next weekend.
I guess I'm sexing false water cobras.
Well, I need to move. I'm having a party over here where we're rearranging my snake room, and I figured you'd want to come and poke around, see some stuff.
Poke around, yeah. I'm all about that.
Get some animals out of my house. I don't know.
Speaking of Owen babies, I have to say the olive pythons you sent me are becoming one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah,
I love
they
them
cool?
so much. They're awesome. Yeah.
Such an underrated species.
They're fun little babies too, because they're just like, I don't care. Oh, that's a bird? And then they're just like, duh. I'm like, okay, well.
I think the cool
there's something about them.
Yeah. The cool thing about them to me is like they grow when they're not even being fed. Like
you don't even look at
no kidding.
I have a very small amount of time before I need to get them into freaking 15s soon.
They're like
it is that window is closing.
Dude, yeah, the 2022 babies you sent me are both in 4x2x2s already.
Yeah.
Granted, they have a lot of room, but that's fun for me.
But this is why people. This, I think, is obviously the pitfall that people fall into with olive pythons, because if you feed them like heavy, they will grow, and then they will get fat, and then they will do fuck all. So that's where you kind of, and I fell into it too, because I'm like, the second they're on guinea pigs, I'm like, this is what you do with big snakes. You feed them guinea pigs. And it's like, no, you don't have to. And they got fat. It's like, so.
Where do you try to maintain your breeding adults in terms of
I have them on
size?
I have them on XL rodents or mammoth rodents or colossal whatever your rodent supplier calls them.
Like a healthy 7-8 feet.
Yeah. I think my females are probably 8, pushing closer to 9. Okay. And then my boys are, 7, pushing closer to 8. Okay. So that's what my guys are. And it's one of those where obviously you feed them the larger rodent, but then also supplement with bird, chicken, stuff like that. I have some larger chickens that I kind of give. So yeah.
Are those one of the ones that you'll just chuck a drumstick to if they're on sale at the supermarket?
No. I stopped doing I stopped doing the drumsticks just because it's a lot of bone.
It is a lot of
meat. So I will try to get like a whole chicken like wing, and I'll do that. So they'll eat those. But a lot of times when you go and get bird from like certain other suppliers, you can get larger chickens that kind of are a little bit on the cheaper side. And they cut them off the legs off at like the knees, which is weird.
Yeah.
But those those chickens are pretty good feeders because they're about the size of a medium to large rat, and that's fine for them. And also larger quail are good for them. But most of my olives just go straight for XL rodents, and every other week for them when it's feeding time, and then usually when they're going towards breeding season, take them off the food.
Gotcha.
But they maintain it.
Very cool. Yeah, loving them.
Yeah, they're cool. Alex had a question. In September, do you guys feed larger meals to bulk up for the winter fast? Go ahead, Owen.
No, I do not. I will do the normal maintenance feed throughout September. I don't. It depends. So you kind of got to take a look at it. If it's one of your animals that maybe you're on the fence about for breeding season, you kind of want to toss some more food at them or larger meals. But I don't increase the size of the food for winter. If I do want to feed a larger meal, it'll be in springtime.
I tend to do a little bit smaller, more often, more frequent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, same. I'm not increasing size, but I am increasing frequency at the moment, especially for animals that I am intending to breed.
Yep.
Yeah. But it would be so like my white lip female, my gold, she'll eat smalls and all that stuff throughout the entire fall, and then she'll go off for winter. And then when I bring her up in the springtime, I'll give her a small, and then after that, I'll usually try to hit her with like one or two. She eats medium rats normally, so I'll give her normal, and then when she gets to about springtime, I'll hit her with like a large rat, and maybe do that once or twice, and then introduce the male. So it's like there's an abundance of food. They're large meals, and then introduce the boy. And then after that, she's back on her normal medium rat, like maintenance feed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what episode it was, but I think, Owen, were you saying it sounds like Timor pythons are one that really needs to get pumped up with food to cycle?
That's what I keep hearing is people keep telling me, and it's just that you need to feed the Timors. And I think it was maybe like potentially when they come out of winter or come out of the fast, you just need to like feed them. Like we're talking like almost daily, to the point where people have said like when the female regurgitates, you've done enough. And I'm like, crazy. That can't be right. Like I feel like I shouldn't have to do that, but maybe not go that far, but maybe that is maybe. And from what we were talking about with the island and Lesser Sundas and stuff like that, and a lot of times when you see these island locality snakes, they feed when the birds migrate to the island, and they'll eat everything they possibly can, and then the birds leave. So it like potentially they are eating multiple times a day, but then they're going a very long time without food. So I don't know. Maybe that's the whole thing of just kind of figuring that out. I have when I redo the room, I am going to upgrade my Timors into 4-footers. And then I was going to actually build them a bridge like the white lips where I could do introductions so that they would potentially have a 8-foot, but it's going to be weird. So the new layout of the room is my 2 stacks of 4-foot cages are going to be on casters back to back. And I was going to put the tunnel between the 2 backs of the cages. So they'd have technically the floor space of an 8-foot cage, but it would make almost like a
square.
Yeah, it's weird. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Are you guys ready for? I can't believe it's almost October.
No.
Oh, I'm ready.
You ready?
I am so ready.
I was gonna. Okay. So
I'm gonna take the year off.
Deep breath.
No, I am gonna take the year off, and I am going to not breed anything that has bred this season.
Okay.
So that I don't refill that.
Coward.
Shut up. So far, that means there's 1 carpet python clutch, which is the hypo to the tiger.
What tiger are we doing?
We're doing the Ted Thompson tiger, the one I
Okay.
got from you. She's
That's gonna be
she's,
nice.
she's also like the meanest. Like, and I'm like, buddy, you got to put some poundage on, otherwise she's gonna kill you. Like
Yeah.
it's So there's that, and then looking at all the animals, I'm gonna try. But long story short, I ended up with like
He's gonna
20
say
20 pairings. Yeah. Yeah.
God bless you, bro.
Light work for the Mac and Wookie.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Well, it's because it's black face, white lip, gold face, white lip, and then it's like
so is
Crebo.
it some of them that may or may not go?
right.
Okay,
It's
all right.
it's a 20 pair.
No,
Stop.
I know your
because
plan.
No,
You're
we
gonna
thought
go.
about
Oh,
this.
these might not
They
go.
won't- exactly.
and then
That's
they
the
go.
problem is we sit there and we're like, they won't go, and then they all breed, and then I'm fucked. So
That Owen goes on the podcast to ask, so Owen, how have you bred all these species?
don't
Well, here's
know.
my plan. I just say that I won't breed them, and I breed as much as I can, and then they say, "Screw you, you're."
I
Gonna
keep
get
trying. To
I
not
make it
breed
so
them.
that if they do breed, it is a mild disadvantage to my day to day.
I tell them just how
2
often
hours.
that, like, however, each egg just slowly takes a year off my life. Like, so,
yeah.
but it's like, yeah, it's
What's
the
up,
Vietnamese
William?
blue beauty
Yeah, well.
snakes. My male will be big enough for next year. Pine
Nice.
snakes. I got a new pair of Cali Kings to breed, so I don't have to wait for my younger pair to grow up. Dominican red mountain boa should probably be getting off the couch again.
Oh, you have them back?
No, they're still at a
Oh,
friend's house,
oh,
but
okay.
that is.
All right.
I still have to include them
That's
in
called
the
a-
list.
That's
Yeah.
called a mutton breeding.
Yeah.
That's a mutton.
I have several of those.
Yeah.
Several of those.
Okay. So 20
Yeah.
pairings. Okay. What about you, Lucas? How many are you doing?
I haven't counted. I'm not prepared, but definitely gonna try all the blackheads that can be tried, and hopefully I can get at least a couple clutches of blackheads.
I thought about you this week, Lucas, because Keith shared his Woma Python that was like
saw that very light,
bright orange head, and then like I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah.
dang near patternless.
Yeah.
That's where my female comes from.
Nice.
From that.
Yeah.
That's.
Luke-
I think it's the same clutch. If I'm not
I know.
Lucas is-
I've admitted it before. I need the bands. I love.
I
but-
want the
but
contrast.
it's a unique looking snake. It's cool.
Yeah.
And
I think they call
you know,
that
your
the
snake will
blonde
just-
line or something.
what is that? Sorry.
Is it the blonde line or something? Pastel?
I'm not
line?
sure. I'm not sure if it's a specific thing, but I was just going to say your snake
Yeah.
just proves a snake like that can poop out totally banded babies. Like
Yeah.
Womas have a lot of variability in what they throw.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like, isn't that why maybe it's been a little hard to kind of set up? I want to say a morph project, but I guess in their case it would be like a line or something
Polygenic.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like certain traits with them inherit stronger than others. And I
Right.
don't mean like trait as in like a genetic morph, but you know, people try really hard for patternless, reduced pattern stuff, and it's not necessarily cut and dry. You know,
Mhm.
two parents with reduced pattern will poop out banded babies, but other things like the stuff Artavilis was working with, and you know, Denver Million and stuff like that, with the really strong orange influence, that seems ridiculously heritable. And then
Mhm.
there was also that one Woma at the shop when I was working in Sacramento with Riley, where no matter which girl you put him with, the babies had a black dorsal stripe.
Right.
So I don't know, little funky, but I think, like I'm saying, I think some traits carry over more reliably than others for them.
I'm with you though. There's something about the contrast with the bands, and they're so perfect. And
I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
it
really
doesn't quite do it
really
for me
sharp.
without it.
Well, it's like my favorite carpet, my favorite super caramels and super caramel jags here have black and contrast and tipping, because otherwise it's just like a yellow snake. And no, I want contrast. I want
Totally.
pattern. I want stuff. So
Yeah. But yeah, Blackhead's gonna do Womas again.
Gonna breed your garters again, or those?
They
just
just do
stop?
their own
Okay.
thing.
I can't get them to stop.
I don't think that there's going to be any more coming
You don't
until
know.
next
You
year,
don't,
but
you don't know.
I do not
Yeah.
know that. I'm going to deep cool diamonds, indigos, inlands.
And is this just
but they're not necessarily ready to go yet.
I would say, is this just a trial run?
Yeah, I don't think I'd pair the inlands or the diamonds yet. I think that I would just like them to experience a winter before.
I tried a trial run with my false water cobra, and that resulted in 12 false water cobra.
Indeed.
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, the thing is, I think a couple of the diamond girls are in theory big enough, but the male is not. So I just don't really want to push it.
Yeah, but it's a boy. Like, what's the worst that happened? He runs, and then you just pull him out of there.
You have a point. We'll see.
You.
However, I do think I have a shot with the.
Listen,
indigos.
One of you on this goddamn call is going to get me diamond pythons. I don't care which one does it. One of you is going to do it.
Well, my two girls are looking good.
God
They're
damn it.
Slamming food.
Nice.
Just God damn it.
How cool will it be someday to walk out to the outdoor balcony diamonds and see eggs outside? It's going to be so cool.
Awesome. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Raccoon,
you and Chuck out there in California.
Chuck? Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted some of Chuck's baby coastals last year, but he didn't have any available for me.
Not for you, sir.
Yeah.
No, I'm not big potatoes enough.
Yeah, you're not on that list. Yeah.
No.
Brandon Wheeler keeps his outside too, I think.
Yeah.
Wheeler has diamonds outside too.
Yeah.
It's a great setup.
They're gorgeous. I love seeing diamonds outside.
Yeah. No, can't beat
I
it.
wish in a place that I could have diamonds outside.
But shoot, besides those things, I speaking of the mutton treatment, I have some brettles that I am the one who breeds on the other end of the mutton treatment.
Yeah. You have okay.
Yeah, I've got
you're that person. Right.
I'm breeding a pair of full blood hypo het stonewash for Nick. The female being the original import from Germany that brought hypo to the US. She's an 09. So super cool to work with that animal.
I think at this point I've muttoned Buddy to the point where I can't keep muttoning him.
What are your other buddy?
Other buddy. Because now he has my tiger het exanic female. And he's gonna take my stonewash male because he already has my stonewash female.
Perfect.
So I'm like, all right, and I don't have to deal with this. So then off they go. But
get him a little plaque that says Rogue Site B.
I just have it. I'm just gonna tattoo it on him at this point. Yeah.
What's up, Puget Sound Pythons?
Yeah,
they got a blue tail monitor that has been really fun to watch videos
blue
of.
Tails, gorgeous.
It's cool. Yeah.
Blue tails are one of those animals where I'm like, that is awesome. Well, now I don't have now to go living on my life without having to deal with that. Like now I don't have to do that as an animal. So
I'm impressed. Jeff and Kendra already have the thing like running around their head, eating off tongs. It's pretty good.
Jesus.
But anyway, yeah, that's about it. I don't have that many different species going. I guess that's like 4 or 5. Yeah.
Eric's doing coastals, diamonds, IJs, inlands.
That's it.
Right? That's it?
Yeah.
4?
We're focused, Eric. You and me, buddy.
Yes. And red. Yeah. Well, kind of coming on.
And red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe 5, 6. That's it. Nothing crazy. I just want to do diamonds. Diamonds and the Russian tigers are probably the top of the list.
Top ones. See, that's the problem is I got a finger in that. Like I'm over there too. You're like, oh, that's my project. Crap, I have to count that one over here too, don't I? Like it's So.
I'm gonna do pop wins. I lied. Definitely.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Sometimes you gotta look around and like, oh yeah.
I do that constantly. I'm downstairs and I'm like, oh yeah. Actually, I was moving cages around that and I'm very close to capacity with cages. So then it started going through my head of like what projects are here that maybe don't need to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was like the beginning of that gear turning because like my small army of Macklot's pythons are getting big soon.
I contributed to that.
You did. You did. So you contributed to my psychopaths is what you did.
I like those. I miss mine.
They're fun. But so that's going to start coming up there. But then also like my ring python is getting bigger. My Dunn's pythons are getting bigger. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. Crap, that's right. I have the ring python with Ryan. That's another one. Damn it.
Can you make some Chinese king rats for your Chinese king rat co-host?
First off, if you want Chinese king rats, call me. I have several right now that you can take. Yeah,
they look so mean.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
They look so mean. How are they?
Guess what you're getting in the mail? Like,
well, it just depends if you want money or friendship.
All right.
I'm kidding.
The Chinese king rats are awesome. Just don't touch them.
Why?
Yeah.
Are they Timor Python?
Well,
like,
either you're
you're getting bit.
Both.
Oh, okay. That sounds like fun.
That's the problem. Is while one end is bleeding you, the other one's just crapping all over you. So
one man's problem is another man's.
Yeah.
I love this snake.
Yeah. So
they're
the
beautiful
best
snakes.
They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous,
yeah.
and the babies. I had one baby T-Paz albino that was not feeding out of the 2 clutches the mom gave me this year, and I force fed her once, gave her alive, and now she's rolling. And that's it. Everybody else ate by just leaving the hopper, like frozen thawed hopper in there.
Is that like one of those species that are like has a cult following type of thing?
Yes.
Or is it some, okay. All right.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
there's like people that are
it's
into
not
those.
It's not a cult following. It's the problem is that it's almost like the rat snake version of a carpet python. So there are morphs. There are Zigzanic. There's albino. There's ivory. There's all like T-Paz.
There's that many morphs?
Oh, there's tons of them, and they all look gorgeous too. Like imagine a king rat that is silver and black with those gorgeous eyes that they have. They're beautiful. But then also you have localities and island species and other things like that. So you can just roll right through it and lose your mind. They have some of them that look like absolute that looks like a king cobra, like this color, everything on it, but it's a Chinese king rat.
Yeah.
And apparently they're one of the most farmed snakes over in Asia. So like they will actually just like, there are rooms where they just have tons of these things, and then they just go around and remove all the snakes and then just scoop up all the eggs. So
pretty.
Yeah.
They look like, I don't know, when I see their face, it's like, see?
Yeah, they're
for you.
They honestly look.
I'm fake, see?
Yeah.
They look constantly pissed off. I mean,
I didn't even want to be here.
So my adult pair looks like the ones that guy is holding.
I like
you make it bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
Hold on, technology. Can we do it? No.
Is it? It's not increasing.
No.
I picked a poor site. Hold on. Let me find it.
So, but mine, like I said, are het for T-Paz albino. So I get a couple of those. I've never kept a T-Paz albino to the point where they do that.
I know why you like them.
Why?
They're called Carinata.
He actually messed up.
Yeah, I thought I was getting more roughies. Yeah, I was getting Carinata, and that's when these showed up. So
it almost has like that diamond python pattern.
Desert king snake.
Yeah. So this is a juvie that has completed its color change. Because when they're born, they're like cream colored with no pattern.
So they're murderous diamond python corn snakes.
Pretty much. The size of a Crebo.
Oh.
The size of a Crebo.
But does the poop smell like the Crebo?
Of course it does. It's a colubrid. I mean, why ask that question? So, but I've never kept one of the albinos to adulthood because I haven't seen them do the color change. Like right now, I have one of last year's babies that is just starting to do the color change. But then this year's kids are still that kind of cream color.
Oh, okay.
They're fun.
Yeah. So that's just the normal look to them that with the yellow?
The
Okay.
black and the yellow. Yeah. I dig them. They're really cool.
You got
I'm
to
glad I
keep
got
them
them.
cooler?
I don't have them on heat.
No.
Nice.
Okay.
They're just in my snake room. They have no heat. They do whatever.
Yeah.
They breed twice. She lays 2 clutches a year.
Do you have to heat the rhinos?
I have a heater in with the rhinos that are in my living room, but it's more of like if the cage gets below. My wife likes to leave all the windows and doors open at like 50 degrees and kill us all. So
I'm the same way, man. I need to freeze.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
That's why I picked spring breeders.
Walking around and I'm like, it's 40 degrees outside. She goes, yeah. I'm like, did you leave your tortoise outside? Ah, shit. I'm like, yeah, well, guess we'll have to go get that now. So it's but it's they have the heater just kind of like as a safety net, but the one, because I have 2 pairs of rhinos now, 2 pairs of adult rhinos, and then I have a trio of juveniles because I don't know when to stop. My one pair is downstairs and they don't have any heat on them. They're just in a cage downstairs.
Cool.
Yeah, they're cool snakes. They oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. What did you say a minute ago?
Rhinos. Not on heat.
Chinese king rat.
Chinese
wife
color
tries
change.
to kill us.
Nah,
T positive albino.
No, freezing. All right.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see on the Animals at Home podcast, Dylan had like a really interesting episode with 2 exotic reptile vets about kind of like the state of veterinary medicine for reptiles, including Mater.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that like the guy that wrote that the book, you know, the Mater textbook. Great episode. Yeah, definitely recommend it. I think that there's.
Are we doomed? Like, you know, tell me.
It
how
wasn't
doomed
so
are
much.
we?
It wasn't so much about that, but you know, I
we're
think,
doomed. Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Thanks, Owen.
Way to bring.
You're
it down.
welcome. Yeah.
We're trying to lift it up.
It is definitely fascinating to hear about and think about the pathway that led to where reptile vet medicine is at the moment, and how I feel like they kind of need to scramble right now to catch up to like the fact that tons of people are keeping these animals.
Yeah.
And that it's not just like a weird thing anymore. And you know, maybe there needs to be some incentives to like look at drugs for reptiles instead of like, how do we use dog and cat medicine on them without killing them?
Right.
It was a great conversation, and you know, some really interesting points about how even like just like your assumptions about how a medicine will transfer over, like from a dog to a snake, they're wrong. Like you can't trust them. Like there's one example of a drug that like it was an antibiotic that like stayed in a cat system for, you know, 4 days or something like that. And then he says, you know, how long do you think it'll stay in a snake system? 20 minutes, because the protein, like a certain protein is absent. And it's very interesting.
Wow.
I definitely recommend it.
I'll have to check it out.
It's that kind of a weird stuff where it's almost like you need to take the second step. And there's a lot of different medications that we would have never thought. And there's a lot of different stuff that you would have never thought to use or do with certain snakes. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I know what I was going to say. I was listening to, I don't know if I want to say, I guess it was Snakes and Stogies. And Justin and Phil were talking about sort of like I guess like the reptile hobby, as far as like who so somehow they were on the topic of natural history and stuff like that. And I guess like let's say the more geeky side of snake keeping, if you will. And they were sort of saying that Phil was feeling, well, I don't know if he actually said this, but I talked to him afterwards and I kind of was getting the vibe that was the case. But sort of like, I feel like that Justin was sort of thinking that natural history, people wouldn't be into that because it wouldn't capture their attention. And I was thinking about, that's probably right to a certain extent, but I think that's probably more so with like breeders that wouldn't be into that. But I think like and maybe I'm wrong, but I think like what I see with the newer reptile keeper coming into the hobby is that they are into that. They're not
Yeah.
necessarily, and maybe I'm just, and again, this is all perspective, right? Because depending on what you're surrounding yourself in, or what's in your feed, or if you clicked on whatever, and then, you know, the next thing you know, you're bombarded with one side or the other or whatever. But I don't know. I just get the feeling that there's more people that are like, there's definitely a lot more people keeping reptiles, right?
Mhm.
And I think that those people are trying to, I feel like it's progressing to the next, like we'll never be close to like the fish keepers or whatever, but I kind of get the feeling that that's where it's going.
I think we could, because there's a lot of this kind of stuff.
I don't know what, yeah, God.
There's a lot of this kind of stuff where I feel like as we kind of move further and further away from everybody needs to set up a snake room and everybody needs to breed their racks and everybody needs to do this, we're kind of getting into the, maybe I can just have one or two set up in this really nice setup.
Right.
And that kind of is,
it goes back to Eric's corn snake.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right. So
100%.
I think eventually we will get to that point where it's going to be like, hey, you want this tank, you want these lights, you want this thing, you want to calibrate this, you want to get this, you want to do that, you want to set it up. It's the centerpiece of your living room kind of a thing. You want to build an in-wall tank. Like, I think that's where you're going to eventually get to. And to be honest, I think we were at that point at some point, and then the breeding craze like wave kind of took it. And I think now we're finally kind of coming back to true, where it's like, maybe I just set up one and it's just this cool animal that I have set up in this naturalistic kind of cool setup, or this giant cage that I can just kind of enjoy.
I think that's kind of awesome in a multitude of ways. Number one, I think that if somebody keeps a pet snake, they're going to be fascinated with it. And it'll probably, like, if you know, if you're into it and it sucks you in, then you're sucked in, you know? And then I guess it doesn't necessarily apply to snakes, but I feel like lizard keeping is more advanced. Turtle keeping is way more advanced. Frog keeping is way more advanced. I think that snakes have always been the sort of the back burner of the reptile hobby type of thing. But I think it's also good too, is like that it'll get people to want to actually save environments and keep, like, you know, even if it's just like we have a place where we can go and find whatever species it is and it's sort of protected and that, you know, that kind of thing.
This is one of those things, like if I were to ditch everything, and I'm talking like clean house, I'd still have the tank in my living room with my rhinos, and I'd probably set up another tank to have like diamonds or something else in it, just because it's what that's what's cool. It's what plugs it in.
Yeah, I do. I think there is, you know, there's definitely a different level of allure and gratification from like an ecosystem in a box, you know, and something that truly can pass the smell test of bringing a slice of nature inside. And I think that if you're keeping for the fascination, love of the animal, etc., inevitably it leads you to that place. And where the parallel path that people get kind of on a different route is when it's, you know, keeping for breeding and you know, being self-sufficient. And, you know, of course, I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle, right, where I have nice naturalistic setups, but I can still produce animals, enjoy that side of things, and supplement the food bill via their offspring. But you know, spectrum, right? And you got all the way on the left, just a sterile warehouse full of drawers. You got all the way on the other side, these amazing rooms that look like you're in a jungle. You know, like these cages might as well be a TV.
If I ever had control of like what needed to go into an office, I'd put green tree pythons or something. Like it would be
I disagree,
some sort of
Lisa.
planted natural. Like, well, let's put it this way. Maybe not snakes, but like, could you imagine going into your could you imagine going to your dentist's office and they have an in-wall tank with poison dart frogs in there?
Yeah.
Like naturalistic
I
kind
guess
of thing.
Yeah, I guess if you have poison dart frogs are probably a little more easier to accept
Right.
than
But-
snakes per se. But I think that
Eventually.
I don't know, and maybe it's just the people that I don't know. I go to the Philadelphia Zoo. What is everybody staring at? They're staring at the snakes. I think
Right.
because they can look at it, and I think that everybody's sort of like, not everybody, but I think a lot of people are actually curious about snakes, but they're afraid, right?
Mhm.
And when you're protected, if you will,
Behind the
you're
glass,
able to sort of
I wanted to
observe-
make a snake cafe, but
Did you?
Oh God, one of those.
people
things.
shot it down.
Yeah. Oh man.
As I
Somebody-
recover from salmonella, maybe not. But
Well,
anyway,
there's like in every animal
that's not a
cafe
good mix.
somewhere.
Eric,
Yeah.
I sent you some pictures in our chat of what I think is the future.
Oh, okay.
It's tanks that are parts of furniture.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait, what did
Why
William say
why
about
can't you
that?
have your nightstand be the forest?
Why not?
Why
Come
can't
on,
you
man.
have your kitchen counter be the forest?
There are several pieces of furniture I'm looking at where I'm like, I could rip you out and put a tank or something like that.
Ecoscaping.
Right.
Ecoscaping is the future.
Why not?
Come on, man. Tell me that's not cool.
I mean, it's fun until you put frogs in there and they all start calling like crazy on a
Oh, that
Sunday
would be
morning.
cool. They like sleeping in the woods.
No, it's Sunday
Some people
morning.
would like
I'm
it.
trying to
Some people
sleep.
would want to blow their brains out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Fucker
yeah.
won't shut up. Like,
I would like it. That's pretty cool.
That's
I'm just saying, like stuff like that. Like people in Asia do it a lot better.
But could you imagine like having like almost, I guess, almost like a table, like with like Ackies or something in it. In the middle of your room is like a coffee table.
I can't remember the guy's name. He was
Yes.
on one of those YouTuber guys. Anyways, in Australia. And then his coffee table is the top of a tree that has I think it's some kind of, maybe it's water dragons, maybe it's
Jesus.
no, what would it be? Yeah, it's anyway, it goes down into like down into his basement or whatever. And basically sometimes they're up at the top of the tree, sometimes they're down at the bottom, but like you can see them at the top. He has like these enclosures where it's like on his coffee table, he had like knobtails in the coffee table and shit. Like,
Endless possibilities.
There are.
Yeah.
I know.
Make it a part of your life.
Right. I know some people that don't actually go and buy like the manufactured simple 4x2 cages.
Right.
They will go to like rummage sales or antique things and buy those giant pieces of really nice wood furniture and then make them into the enclosures and set them up. It's almost like there are things out there that it's like they used to be like TV cabinets. You'd have this giant intricate cabinet with a TV in it, and they just kind of seal it up, make it safe.
Instead of the slot for the freaking VCR, you can do a built-in like subterranean.
Exactly. So they just kind of do that and put in glass, and then that's just what they do. So I think there is definitely going to be more of a push to enjoying the animals as
their setting,
as that whole thing. So,
100%.
and it is definitely fun. And like I said, I was watching. So, this year I swapped up the rhino pairs, so males and females. So the female that came without a horn.
That's it. Boyd's forest dragon. Sorry. Aaron got it. Yeah. Go ahead.
So the female without a horn was introduced to the giant tank and the plants and everything like that. So for like a solid day, she just sat in the bin that I put her in there with, like just trying to take it all in. And then today she was cruising around the top of the plants and hiding in those. And it's just fun to watch her kind of enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. William sort of brought up a point that I guess people that are more into morphs maybe not into that kind of thing. And yeah, I would say that that's probably realistic. So like, I don't know if the ball python, crowd is necessary, and that's fine. Right. Because I think that, they're more into the genetic side.
But kind of like the beta fish.
But like, here's the thing. Like wouldn't it be cool to just have a naturalistic setup? And then if you're drawn to this python because of the way it looks, I don't give a shit if it's purple. Like, wouldn't it look cool in this naturalistic setup, even if it's fucking purple? Like, why not?
I saw.
I have a I changed out the rough scale python cages. I got new cages, and the old ones went downstairs. But the rock ledges were permanent, like I couldn't remove them. So I got new rock ledges for these. So downstairs right now I have a super caramel jag that's basking on a rock ledge. She's fucking awesome in a bin. She's fucking awesome on a rock ledge. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. But do I like her better on a rock ledge? Yeah.
Sure.
She's sitting there. I can watch her.
Right.
Yes. Yes. I put her in there. I put her in this cage, and her first instinct was to flop around like an idiot. But that's because she's a jag. But when she recovered, she basked on the rock, and it was very pretty.
Herps.
I think that I've also, so maybe why I'm thinking this way is like I've been exposed to a lot of kids as of late where I'm showing them snakes, right? And you know, it's actually pretty freaking awesome because they're like, you know, somewhere between the ages of say like 6 and 12.
Nice.
So
they're not little assholes yet.
Yeah,
no,
no.
And like, you know,
listen
again,
here, you little shit.
Yeah,
everybody, they were all scared of them and stuff, and I'm like, no, there's no reason to be scared, and you know, blah blah blah, and showing them, you know, what it is, and then when they're actually holding the snake, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of cool for me because I get the flashback of like what it was like when I was a kid, you know, and I'm standing there holding the snake, and just their excitement and, you know, what it's about. And the reaction is always the same, right? They'll go in and they'll see my snake racks and they'll be like, you keep them in that?
Totally.
You know, it's like,
you
keep them in that?
Yeah.
Like, why do you keep them like that? And it's just
Yeah.
like, well, it's kind of well, I wouldn't keep them like that. I was like, okay, well, how would you keep them? Well, if I was going to keep them, I would
Listen
make
here,
them in a
you little
big
shit.
bundle, like
Yeah.
the ones you have upstairs, or the one, you know, the ones you have in the other room, and like, you know, so
You think Uncle Eric's made of money? Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like
was
in
like,
episode
listen,
3
kids.
when Yoda's like, curious, the mind of a child.
yes, exactly.
Come
Yeah,
on.
Robert.
Come
Robert
on,
was
Owen.
not- he's not going. He won't go. He's a Star Trek.
What
fan.
do you
He's
think
not
that's
into
episode
Star
2?
Wars.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Crap, it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Lost the planet, Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. All
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on
Thank
your
you
soul.
for correcting me.
You're welcome.
Yes.
But anyway, no, that's what it's all about, man. That's the only thing I miss about retail is the, you know,
That
1% of
interaction.
time where I have like an awesome kid to like educate.
All the other times where it's like, God, I hate you.
1% of kids.
Oh my God. Whenever that situation would come up, I would literally just try to spend as much time as I could with like,
Yeah.
Don't
man.
you have
good.
work? No, we're fine.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So my nephew wants to start herping with me, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's really into animals, and he kind of like, I can kind of see like little resemblance of like
Small
me.
Eric,
And-
yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, okay. I said, yeah, we can try it. So I'm thinking like, where can I take him? So I'm going to take him to like some local, well, you know, in the springtime or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's good that you have your nephew that wants to do the herping thing and get into Zen, and then I have my nephew that wants to have a hostile takeover of my business. So you know, it's good that we're
trying to
setting
take
up
us
the
out,
next
Owen.
generation. Yeah,
I mean, we have Eric genes and we have Jim genes.
Yeah.
Like, this all
Yeah.
adds up.
yeah, yeah. My nephew's like, "How much of this clutch do I get?" I'm like, "What? Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing all the
What's my
work.
cut?
I'm doing all the work." He's like, "Half." I'm like, "Half? What the fuck?" Yeah. I'm like, "No, you can have 20. I'll have 80." I'm like, "This is bull." Yeah. Long story short, I lost negotiations to a 10-year-old. So yeah.
I want a reality TV show. Owen and like a small child with like
Hunter?
a beard glued to his face. The big and the little, and they're just fighting the whole time. It's like, no.
You know that
Yeah.
there's this. I don't know if I'm going to take a chance here that you might know who it is. You ever hear of Rhett Shaw, Lucas?
I don't think so.
Oh, and you will not have heard of him.
No,
He's a
okay.
guitar player.
Rhett Shaw. No.
Oh,
Like
wow.
RHETT. ETT Shull. Yeah. Anyway, he's like the Owen McIntyre of guitar. He looks just like him. He's just like him. And I'm just like, oh my God, there he is. Banger in the guitar world of Owen.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrifying.
It is.
He's actually a really good guitar player, and I really enjoy listening to him a lot. But
I was going to say earlier when Owen was talking about turning outdated furniture into cool cages, I do think one thing that could be cool is a big broken like amp, like gut that thing and turn that into a cage. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you keep something if I made you like a Fender Hot Rod DeVille cage?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's like bridging the gap of two worlds, you know?
Yeah. Well, and
like,
everybody, well, not everybody, but so many people that are into reptiles are into music. So
yeah,
I think there's something there.
Nobody
take that idea.
TM. Yeah.
It's copyright.
Chris did, and this is exactly why I wanted to try it out. You know, but Chris does bring up a good point. I think for species it works with, it's great, but a lot of people just think they can throw a plant and some bugs into a tank and you're all
agreed.
set.
No, there's a
it's
lot
not
more that
for
goes
every
with it.
species.
No. You know, when we were in Australia, we were looking at Scott and Ty's. They had just a tank where it was just bioactive and they had it just set up there forever. And that's one of the points that he had brought up. He's like, you know, a lot of people don't necessarily understand how that, like, they think it's easier almost, right? It's not easier. It's kind of like a salt.
That was
tank,
the biggest
right?
mistake of like
different.
The marketing of bioactive, like people thinking they don't have to clean poo anymore. That was the biggest issue. Like,
but
that
you're
should
right.
not have been the appeal.
But
yes,
but they're right. You don't have to clean poo anymore, but you have to maintain.
You do though.
Bug
if you have
cultures.
like an organism that, like, you still gotta.
Yeah.
They can't, like, no cleanup crew can handle a ball python's turd in a 40-gallon.
Right.
No.
Right.
You need like a room enclosure.
Right.
You know, in order for that to happen.
And you need to be okay with watching a chihuahua-sized turd deteriorate over a few weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be there for a while. Now, like, would you rather let it sit there and potentially like other things come and lay eggs in it, or just pick it up and throw it away? Like, it's like how people are. I think somebody was bitching about bird diet and things like that. They're like, it makes everything smell so horrible. I'm like, yes, but then you clean it and it's gone. Like, I don't.
That's the indigo poop and the false water cobra poop.
Who gives a shit it's eating? Like,
it smells bad,
damn.
but yes, you clean it and then it doesn't anymore.
It's gone away. You don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah. I think another thing, I was going to say this earlier, but like when we went up to Robert's place, and like his lizards and stuff that he had with all the natural enclosures and
awesome.
All the. He had those new ones with the backgrounds and stuff. It was really cool.
Nice, dude.
Really cool.
Universal Rock.
Yeah,
I was on their website because I got a couple for these cages back here. Oh my God, there's so many cool things on that site. Like,
oh yeah, man,
full backgrounds, ledges, and I'm like, oh no,
shit. I was even looking at doing my pool with Universal Rock.
Dude, I was.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a big rock right here, Dory?
She's like, why? I don't know. I want a rock.
I just want this big rock.
So I got to go back on there because I got some ledges and I want to get some bigger ones in there for the back.
So what did you get? The ones you have the silicone on, or is it the magnet?
Okay. I got the ones that got a silicone on. I got I don't know if you can really see them, but I have them right there on that side. They're kind of sticking out. Yeah. But then she's got the ceiling hide there, and then I wanted to get another ledge for the back wall.
So these are animal plastic cages that Owen ordered pre-COVID.
No, not pre. When did I order them?
He just got them last week.
They've
been on a backlog since
COVID. On the website it says like how long their backlog is, and they came all the way up to like that date. Like it was I think at the website it's like, don't contact us if it's within these days. And it came up like the day of is when they shipped it. Like when I got a notification of it being shipped, like when their lead time was, but it was like 2 months, 3 months lead time. Like I
Yeah.
said, the Ruffy eggs were laid and they hatched before the cages that I ordered for their parents arrived.
Quick ship.
I can't
Cage.
understand how.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know that they don't do it as their business, but like,
What I don't
there's
understand
so many cage companies,
Right,
now. I
and
can't
there's
understand
so-
why they haven't,
but they're so good and they're so
because they
Are
make
there,
such a
though?
good product.
They're
I don't
tons.
feel like there are.
They're tons.
I
What,
don't know.
cage
Cage
companies?
companies.
Yeah.
There's them. There's Black Box. There's what are those ones that Bill likes? The really smart ones that come with like in
Focus Cube.
Yep, Focus Cube. Then
Black
there's
Box is the one that the
already said
THP
that.
guys push.
Yeah. There's the
You got Cage by Design.
VE still running around. Boa File still running around.
He's not taking orders right now.
Really?
Yeah.
And then there's a
Maybe
bunch
there's
of little
not.
things. There's US cages, USA cages, or ones that I looked at. Now they're starting to get all those ones that are coming out like
What's the
through
one that
Chew-
Animals at
like,
Home do?
I'm not sure.
There's
Is it a
those.
Canadian brand?
No, I don't think it's a Canadian brand, but
Well, there's
Hold
then now they're starting to get all those cages that are like you see through Chewy and stuff like that. That are
No,
like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I hear
Yeah.
you, and especially compared to the past. But I
Custom
guess the
reptile
point I'm making
habitats.
is there's still a serious issue with like supply.
there
Because
is
nothing ships fast. Like,
right. There is. It's almost like, and I keep saying that is that if you're going to get cages, go to the show and buy the floor model because then you can pick it up and go.
Right.
I just decided to get these, and the problem is now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, I got room for another one. Like I'll just put that.
yeah.
see you in 2025.
Yes. If I order it now, it'll be here by the time these guys are old enough to go into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but again, it's like the quality work is awesome. It's such a long thing. So it's almost like I know Foley talked to us and he wants to get his cage stuff back up and running. And I have 3 8-foot cages that he built and they're amazing. So you can find good cage companies all over the place.
Yeah. I've been, so I'm at the point I have the design ready. But I'm just trying to figure out if I should do it myself or if I should have somebody do it.
What are we building?
A cage.
What kind of cage? How big? What's going on? What for?
For
Where are
my
we putting it?
diamonds.
Where are we
This
putting
wall.
it? Oh,
For a corn snake?
for the corn snake?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be the corn snake's gonna be on
The
wall.
diamonds are still in those 4-footers, and the corn snake's got this giant thing. It's
So my plan is is that
Yeah.
I want to take, you know how long my wall is.
I
think-
do.
Okay, so
I've
maybe
measured it many times.
Don't
Don't ask questions.
probably
I don't explain myself.
maybe
to you.
12, maybe 8, maybe 16 feet.
Yeah,
So the idea is to cut it in half.
the wall.
8 foot.
So it'd be 8 foot long,
Okay,
right? Probably like 4 foot high.
okay.
2 8 foot
And I-
cage with pass through. 16-foot cage.
Basically.
Good job. Good job.
So it'd be
Lucas. That's
like
how
the
math
one
works.
wall, right? Would be the diamonds.
That's
Okay.
so sick.
And then behind me here would be the Brettles.
Right, okay.
Dude.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then
Dude.
over in this corner here, where it's like next to where you can't see, would be like smaller species that I could keep in exoterras.
hmm
That would be more naturalistic, like like almost like kind of like that size that I have the gecko in. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
never could do that. God damn it!
It's
I always
where is
look like
it?
a nugget. Like, what is he pointing at?
No, just point at the thing you want. We'll figure it out.
And then out here,
That's
the-
amazing.
in the
Can't wait
other
to see
room,
that.
Mhm.
yeah, and the other room, I'd like to do like that's where I would keep the naturalistic corn snake because it gets colder out there, right? And I don't
Right.
have to keep it as big as it because originally I was going to put the diamonds out there,
Right.
but I decided I'd keep it in here. So
And
it'd be
just
like
freeze this room. Right.
Yeah.
So now the question is that are we building PVC, wood? What are we doing?
so I don't know. That's sort of where I'm back and forth, right? I know you've done wood. I know Keith's done wood and sealed it and all.
I would recommend PVC over wood because I had to I sealed the inside of all the wood cages like 18 fucking times. And still the floor of my one Crebo cage, the ceiling failed and the wood rotted. So I had to clean everything out. I had to sand everything down, and I was in there with like a Dremel and a sander, and I'm just like carving like a divot the size of my fist by the time I was done to get all the rotted wood out, to get the solid wood. And then I was able to patch it, and then I rubber sealed the entire bottom of the cage. So you can do wood, but be prepared to just seal it with it. Like, I'm talking Flex Seal rubber bottom cage.
So like I think it has to everybody's saying in PVC, right? And I kind of agree. I kind of like want black PVC because I like the look of those cages where it's black and then the inside of the cage just kind of pops.
Yeah, problem with expanded PVC at the size that you want to do is figuring out a way to make sure it's supported enough,
right?
Especially in the middle to not sag.
So my 6-footers. Chris built a rib. So inside the cage, there is literally almost looks like a lowercase n that goes in the middle of the cage up and around and locks in. And then there are rails that go along the sides of the top and on that. So it basically builds an entire support skeleton on the ceiling that hooks into this rib, so that when the weight of the other cages on top are equally distributed, so nothing bows, nothing changes. So that's what you need to start to consider with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the support has to be there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I have the white now. I don't know. I just don't like the white. I don't know why.
I've always liked black cages. Like, I have one white rack that is like a 41 quart, and I'm thinking about ditching it just because it's constantly scrubbing and all that other stuff. And then it's the only white rack, and it pisses me off.
So my hope is, I guess I'm not gonna. I mean,
I hate it.
My hope is that I mean, I might have to cheat and sort of use, coastal carpet pictures that I've taken of habitat. But the idea would be to get a huge, like, sort of
thing
like
printed.
what Luke did, but printed for the background of it, rather than do like the rocky outcrop. Because I like, for the diamonds in particular, I have like this idea, like Cam's custom cages. He's in Australia. I'm sure you guys have seen. It's like fucking amazing. That's another
phenomenal
stuff.
But
so it's like having a tree in the cage, even if I have to make it out of zoopoxy or something like that. But having that in there to where it's like an actual freaking tree with ferns and shit in there.
It's not that hard. I took a cork bark tube, put a support in it, and then just spray foamed the entire inside. Yeah. And then you just stick branches in it.
That was the other thing too. I was thinking about, like, I was thinking, like, has anybody ever done like, and this might be something for Woma pythons, but if you were going to do a cage like that, right? And you were going to put, like, if you got PVC running underneath the like what you could see in the cage down to like a box down in the bottom, wouldn't that be like, what do they call it? Not stimulation. God,
enrichment.
Yes, a burrow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like going through all these different.
Dude,
it'd be phenomenal. I would love to do something like that someday.
Yeah. I am swapping my wood cages out for PVC at some point. And the way I'm going to do it when it's finally situated, I'm going to have the male olive pythons in 6-footers right next to the females 8-footers, and I'm going to build a bridge to connect them so that when breeding season happens, they have these massive cages they can go into. And also, again, all I have to do is undo things, and there you go, have at each other.
Yeah, and in the other room is I'm gonna open up the back half of my garage, so it's like I sort of have like a 2-car garage. Right now, one half of it is my snake room, so I'm gonna take 1.5 of it
Yeah.
And then across that back, I'm going to build a huge olive python enclosure.
Nice.
And then,
Hey.
you know, have the other carpets in there. So like at that point, I probably will have to keep probably some stuff, and I'll still have baby racks. And
This
stuff
is
like
great.
that.
I don't even need to go to Australia. I'll just go to Eric's house.
Yeah.
Well,
What the?
That's sort
Why
of
the
the
hell is
idea,
Lucas
right?
sleeping in your olive python cage?
Shut up, I'm herping.
It's got a headlamp on. Like,
I'll
look.
find that olive python. It's right the fuck there.
I get so jealous of my dad and my sister because, like, it's almost like they just go into their reptile things and they just sort of have like this Zen sort of moment where they just chill and sort of watch their animals, and it's
they
just
spend like half an
I wanna
hour
do
and then
that.
they leave. Yeah.
you know. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Jason was saying that he had an issue with moving a snake from a black enclosure to a white one. She wasn't happy.
There's certain snakes that I think just freak
Interesting.
out over little things because it's like
It's a green tree python.
That explains
it. All right, we figured it out. Now we know what's wrong with it. It's a green tree python. So, I would say moving snakes from any kind of enclosure, you want to keep an eyeball on them just because they can immediately just freak out over the smallest little things.
Right.
I've been reluctant to move my Timors because the reason I have these Timors is Rob had them and he moved them from a rack into a cage and they lost their minds. And he put them back in a rack. And then he sold them to me and I kept them in a rack way longer than you probably should have kept them in a rack.
Right.
And then I moved them to a cage and they've been okay in the cage. And now I am reluctant to move them into larger cages because I don't want to freak them out.
Right.
But eventually they will also be included with that stack of like, so it's going to be like olive Timor, and that'll be same deal. So they'll have that kind of a bridge, which I like that idea more and more.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the olives on top of, like, the cages would be on top of each other type of deal.
Yeah.
And then there would be, they could go up
the burrow,
so that they could separate.
That's eventually I'll have it so that the one wall has the black white lips, the gold white lips, and then the Chinese king rats, and then the other wall will have the 8-footers and then the 6-footers. And then I'm running out of space, guys. Like I gotta figure some shit out. The damn tortoise taking up goddamn hammock, goddamn freaking
squirrel.
It's his fault. It's a freaking
upstairs.
tortoise.
I want to do a rhino rat, like something like that, like a rhino rat or something that can be kept cooler. You know,
I don't touch mine and with heat, and they still try to bite me when I come in there with a mouse.
And you know, the cool thing about rhino rats, right, is it's such a interesting looking snake for just somebody that would be coming through your house.
Right.
I'm really excited for when Owen's box shows up
with Chinese king rats and rhino rats next year.
I'm so excited
with an invoice that says pay me. Yeah.
You owe me diamond pythons.
Yeah. 2 diamonds. Yeah.
Fair trade.
But the cool thing about that is I've had friends and stuff and family who've come over who don't want anything to do with the snakes, but want to sit down and watch the rhinos do their thing in the morning when they're all out cruising. Yeah. So, and if you set up I think they have UV lights, lights are on a timer, light comes on, rhinos come out, they do their thing, and then they go hide.
They do bask under the UV.
Yeah, they come out. It's cool. It's fun to watch them. I Sunday mornings, I'm sitting there drinking my coffee, eating breakfast, watching them just kind of do their thing. The cool thing is too, is that, and I haven't done it with my rhinos, but I kind of did with the false water cobra. When I went to go get rhinos, the minnows and stuff like that, when I was feeding baby rhinos, I'd ask what was like the largest feeder fish they had. And it was always these like big, weird kind of minnow goldfish, ones that, you know, got too big and had to be moved into other tanks. And I would give them to the false water cobra. So like you can also set up like fish in your tank with your rhino and they'll hunt them.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Paludarium. Fish tank floor.
Yeah.
Rhino rat canopy.
Rhino up top.
I think that's the other thing, man. I've seen some of the Replandia displays, and it's just like,
God, I love that.
Holy shit.
I want to go. I want to go. We have to fit next year. We're going to figure out some time to go. I just want to go see it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then leave my resume in certain places and just tell Ari to hire me.
Please,
Ari, please. I'll work for pennies.
I was going to ask you a question real quick about the UV, right? Do you guys set up the UV separate than the heat spot?
Yeah.
Like, you do. So it's in
Yep.
different areas. Like it'll be a UV basking area and then a heat area.
I usually set it up. Now I did it because of the plants. So the UV lights are over the plants because I figure the plants need it more than like snake need.
Uh-huh.
But then like the snakes just go and chill in the plants. So it's
Yeah.
whatever. But the way I have it set up is there's like the UV lights are actually attached. So it's going almost makes like a V. So the one UV lights here, one UV lights here, and then the heat source, their heat panel is kind of in the middle. So the heat panel kind of radiates, but the UV lights are over the plants
within the UV. Like so, when
if they want
they're
to,
getting some heat,
right? So if they want to, so like it's one of those. If they wanted to chill underneath the heat, they could without getting the UV. But if they want to kind of drift over to the edges of the tank where the UV is, because that's where the plants are, they could get there and probably get pretty cool. But
do you notice them favoring one or the other?
Yeah, there's this one spot that the female really likes. Is this one branch that kind of goes on a diagonal down, and it's right underneath the UV, and it's right near that potted hanging plant that she likes to always lay her eggs in. She'll curl up on that branch and just chill, and like her head will be pointed down, and that's where she sits. The male will actually come out of the ceiling hide and chill in the tree right at the top, which is not near the UV. It's where the heat is. So she tends to like it more. The new female that's downstairs now is up in one of the plants directly under UV. And that's where I saw her today. When I saw her, she was in the ceiling hide for a while. I kind of just put her, she bites. So I put her whole box. She was in it. I put the whole damn box in the tank and I'm like, figure it out. And it took her a day to come out. And now she's out. And I think she's kind of exploring. I'm not 100% sure. And she knows that the male is in there, but I figure they'll figure each other out
eventually.
But yeah, so my friend had her and she's never produced eggs. And I wanted to give my female the year off. So right now she's downstairs with his male. They're separated. But the idea is to set up another breeding rhino thing downstairs between that pair and then have the other pair upstairs, because then that's unrelated to all the stuff I have downstairs. Because like right now I have a male that I produced, a female Mike Curtin produced, and then a female I produced that are growing up. And they grow up awful quick. So I mean, I might tell you to set up a rhino tank so that you could take like a trio and just give me the eggs, man. Like, you know, either somebody, goddamn it, like you know,
mutton me, dude.
I might
all day.
Start muttoning some rhinos just because
you got it.
I could do that.
I'll tell you right now, rhinos are
satellites. He's California.
He's the empire.
I have to slowly expand my empire, but rhinos are one of those animals that I was always interested in, but was always hesitant because you heard the stories about them. They are fucking bulletproof. Like, I mean, you feed them, you give them fresh water, you leave them the hell alone at room temperature. They have the eggs. You set up the eggs in a box, put it on a shelf in the snake room. They hatch, and then it's just feed trials. And feed trials for them is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's offer them this year. I offered my first round of rhinos fish scented pinkies. All but one took the fish scented pinky. And then it took the second time I offered. So I didn't have to go get, like, I have a little 5-gallon tank that I set up for minnows. I didn't have to set it up this year. So
that's good.
Some years are better than others, but it's like, that's just where you're at.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have Mr. Stone come back and talk rhinos with us now that you're an official rhino breeder. I think the last time we talked to him, he was not.
Yeah,
you were not.
I was not. I want to say this is my 4th year.
Yeah.
Rhinos, yeah. 4th year with the rhinos.
Do you typically, are they typically sold out? Like when
Dear God, dude.
Yeah.
Year round, people are asking me for rhinos. They're like, they're knocking down my, like, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, so
is it the horn?
It's got to be the horn. It has to be the goddamn horn. I don't understand it because, like, some of my rhinos, like that one hornless rhino, is vicious, bitch. It's like this thing is worse. I've had pythons that are nicer than this thing, like white lip pythons that are nicer than this thing. But it's it has to be the horn. It also has to be that you can set it up to have this beautiful setup, and also that the care is I don't have to bust out all these heat elements and all this other crap. I could just set it up.
Yeah.
And some people are a little leery about feeding rodents, but I guess not feeding a fish.
Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Barron's racers or the it's hard.
It is, because I prefer the Barron's racers just because of their color and pattern. Like a brown Barron's, a green Barron's, and a blue Barron's are all gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I almost prefer the rhino just because of what it is. It's a rhino, you know.
Right. See, I never saw those snakes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I never saw them. I know that, like, you know, Schmitty talks about it all the time and whatnot, where he's like, he saw them when he was a kid. I guess I was kind of like a probably 20-year-old when he was a kid, but maybe that's why.
It's I mean, I remember seeing, I think I remember seeing somebody with a mandarin rat snake at a show once.
See, like, I've always loved those. Those pattern on those are just
fun. And he just had the mandarin like on his hat. Like, he was wearing like one of those fishing hats, and it was just killing on his hat. And it was an adult female, which the size of most corn snakes and stuff like that. And somebody was like, "Oh man, that thing's gonna die now because he stressed it out because he took it outside and he put it on a hat." Right. I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, but
piece of shit.
Yeah, well, it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I think, like, you know, the thing that let's say, if Dr. Zach, if you've listened this far into the show, right,
and you haven't rage quit,
and you haven't, here's the question for you: what is it about colubrids that they retain their color a lot better than, say, a Boyd, boa or python as they age? Like, what is the difference in colubrids that they do? I think about it, right? You think of like a pyro or just a California king snake. They don't dull out. You know what I mean? Like, where pythons, as they age, typically, you know, some better than others or whatever, various, you know, whatever. But just, I'm thinking like a brown python, you know, ball python, or IJ, you know, I don't know, coastal carpet, you know, whatever else.
You're gonna be able to ask him that.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Why are colubrids prettier?
Like, do you think that there's something from their environment where they have to, like, I'm thinking, are they around more venomous snakes, so they're trying to mimic those colors? Is it, I don't know.
Well, my dumbass is like, why do human hairs go white when they are old, but other animals don't?
Good point.
Yeah, excellent point. Yeah,
horsey doesn't turn gray.
Yes, it does.
They do?
Yeah.
When they're old?
Yeah.
Never mind.
I know dogs get like gray in their face.
You know what's funny is that some gray horses turn white.
Like Gandalf?
I have a feeling
I'm being yelled at. I said a horse fact, and apparently you was either correct or wrong. I don't know. I'm being yelled at.
Or maybe I'm being yelled at.
I mean,
right.
Vicariously through me. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, she's listening. Hi.
She always
Bigfoot call.
She's like, always listening.
How dare you, Owen?
She's always nearby. I can't hear her exactly with my headphones on. So
you got to keep him on point, because he will randomly put horse facts out there.
Yeah, I will.
Misinformation.
I will. I constantly am spreading misinformation.
I have the best horse, the biggest horse.
All the horses.
Quite frankly,
yes.
Yes.
My horses are the top 1% of the top 1%.
Oh, is that a Bernie?
Yeah.
We need horses that run for everyone, not just the 1%.
That's pretty good.
Equine riders.
That's pretty good. I like it.
Hillary. Right. Anyway. Thank you.
Good job.
Here we are. Good job.
So,
2 hours. We're here. Oh, wait. Go ahead. What do you got?
You
were at. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
God, now I don't know.
Yeah, now you're nervous. Look what you did.
What were we talking about?
Horses.
Gray hair.
Politics.
Why are colubrids prettier?
Why colubrid? Yeah.
Colabrids.
All right, never mind.
Okay.
He's like, I can't recover it.
It's over.
I've lost it.
Oh, I remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Calendar.
That I was getting there too. So
Very good.
yes, we are going to start the calendar competition.
But that's
Big
what you
sigh.
said last time, Owen.
Shut up. Shut up. So I will make the post tomorrow. You'll have 30 days to enter in the calendar competition. We'll have all the categories. Do you remember what the extra special
I sure
category?
do, because
What was it?
I
Oh, you did
picked
it, right? Yeah.
because the winner didn't show.
Is it Woma's?
It's Aspidites. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Aspidites, okay.
Woma's. All right.
Have you done that in years past?
No, I think a
No.
woman's been in it, but I don't think it meant to be in
Cool.
it. Like,
but like
I
an
think we had-
Aspidites category.
I think we had like Australian
pythons
and
or
other
something.
pythons, and then a Woma
right.
was in it.
Wow.
So.
Womas and blackheads, baby.
Okay. So I will make that announcement. Again, you'll have 30 days. You guys all know the rules at this point. If I have
No
to
touch
explain-
shots.
I was just going to shuffle the dice real quick and throw it out here.
Yeah.
What if there was 2 different calendars?
Why?
What if there was
Why?
one? Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Just hold on.
Right.
We
Or
or just throwing it out there. What if there was 3?
what?
Since-
Whoa. What
so
are we
we
doing?
do pythons,
Uh-huh.
colubrid and colubroid radio. So that would be colubrids.
Colubrids. Yeah.
Oh no.
Boa.
Do boas. And then what about the
Monitors.
Okay. Monitors 4.
Well, I'm not getting crazy.
Let's not go nuts.
Oh, you're
No,
not
no,
going
whoa,
crazy at
whoa,
all.
whoa.
Yeah, we could do that
Whoa.
too. Or I thought wild snakes
So wait,
in one,
wait,
and that
wait,
was the other.
Wait. So we're
Wolfman should
gonna have,
definitely do a calendar.
you're gonna make me select and judge and
Colubrids.
filter.
No, you
3
wouldn't do it.
calendars?
Zach,
Yes, I
Zach
do.
and Clint would do it.
Yeah, but I have to get all the pictures and stuff going.
Oh, God forbid! I've only
Shut
been
up.
doing this
Shut-
podcast for
shut up.
11 years,
Shut
and
up.
now all of a sudden you
Shut
got to do
up.
a little bit of work.
Oh.
Don't
All
forget
right.
you have an
Okay.
intern.
All right. Yep.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Damn it.
Just throwing
No,
it out there.
I
Maybe
like
it's a
it.
possibility. I just thought maybe we would show
Well,
the
do
other
we-
2
well,
snake
but what-
podcasts some love.
I mean,
we could
do
do
we-
a monitor one too if you want.
well, now the other option is: do we want to have all the entries divided up and kind of select, and then maybe even have the public vote on
Which
Which
one goes in
ones?
the main one?
which one goes in the calendar?
Yeah.
Calendars.
Guys,
He
I
needs
don't need 3 calendars.
It's like, what are you doing to me?
Why are you doing this? Shut up.
Uh,
She'll keeping up with one.
That's very
Or-
fair.
or maybe we. Well, no, I can't do that. I was gonna say maybe we don't do Morelia. We just do like one of the other ones, and I'm like, nah, that's
No.
that's too far,
The
Eric.
name
Stop
of
it.
the show is
Stop it,
Um,
Eric. What are you doing?
maybe for Carpets and Coffee, we release a calendar of various coffee beans.
Well, that's not very fun.
That's not fun at all, unless it's an advent calendar.
Oh, why
and
did you say that?
my December bean.
I guess we should have worked these ideas out before.
Yeah, I
the
don't know
end
why
of
we're
the
having
show.
a
I don't
meeting
know.
and
It's-
live on the yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
I didn't
All
even know what show this was. I just showed up.
Yeah, it did kind of just happen, didn't it?
Yeah, I
You're
thought
like,
we were
I'm
doing
going to
Carpets and
record.
Coffee.
Okay.
It's the live stream. It is what
Listen,
it is, you know.
Listen, sometimes Eric just kind of takes NPR and Carpets and Coffee and just kind of smashes them together, and it's like, here, public show. Like, and that's all he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway, well, there's going to be a calendar, and gonna
TBD on
have
how
Pythons
many,
in it.
what's going on, where's happening. Yeah.
and maybe we'll work out with the other. And, you know, I don't know.
Why don't we offer to the other shows if they want to run their own calendar competition? They freaking can, and then they can do what they want. Like Chuck and Justin can do some sort of
Fighting.
calendar of all the different fights that they
Yeah.
want. You know,
Yo, dude, how good would that be? All the different shows, the guests that they had, and then they
Yeah.
just
Just
have them like
Zoolander's
punching.
face
Yeah, like,
photoshopped on a bunch of like
Yeah.
MMA bodies.
yeah, or Mortal Kombat fighting kind of thing. Yeah,
Oh,
it'll be fun.
It's good. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, look
Now,
forward to
now
that tomorrow.
that this train has gone off the rails and over a cliff,
Yeah.
let's figure out this
Just
thing.
saying, if we're gonna do a calendar in a Red
Why not
Bubble
fuck
store,
up
why not
everything?
have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
variety of
yeah.
things?
No
Yeah.
tub shots. You have a month to do it. You can only
Yes.
submit each animal once.
Go on, you're
Individual
good so far.
animal. Right?
Yes,
Right.
yes,
You
yes,
can do
yes.
multiple categories, but you can only win one. Or no?
Yes, yes. Well, no,
Yeah.
you can do multiple categories and you can win as many as you
Okay.
win if
Yeah,
you
Somerville
have
won a bunch.
Yeah,
didn't
basically one year it was a Somerville calendar.
it?
But
As it should be.
What you cannot do is you cannot put an animal like under coastal that is also like potentially a morph and then enter it as a morph and then expect to win both. So like if you were to win one, I guarantee you're not going to win the other one.
Yeah, with the same animal.
With the same animal, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, no tub shots. We want you guys to do something else. Like if you have a planted vivarium, cool, why not? But like no animal on paper in a bin.
Next to a turd.
Right.
Take
Take it outside. Take multiple shots. Pick out the ones that you want. Do not enter all 20 shots that you took. Pick one and then enter it.
Where is this post going to be, Owen?
It'll be on the NPR community page.
What's that page called?
And the Morelia Pick
the
of the Week.
Facebook page,
Yes, the Facebook page.
not the Morelia Pick of the Week.
Wait, that's a Facebook page.
No, Facebook page is a
God
page.
damn it. God
That's a
damn
group. So it's going to be in the Morelia Pick of the Week
It.
group.
God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
I
If I
love
didn't,
you.
no, if I didn't need you, I'd strangle you.
I love you,
it's
though. What's the
Yeah,
matter,
right.
buddy?
if I had a rock, I'd stove your head in. But all right, yes, it'll be on the group, the Morelia Pick of the Week.
Very good.
But there will be links on all the other NPR pages to get you
Don't
to it.
post them on that. Post
Right,
them on the Pick of
right,
the Week. That's why I'm
right.
saying it. Because
Post them there.
You can post them wherever you want, but it won't count.
Exactly. If you email them to me, I will not enter them for you.
do you think
Like-
we could take Owen's blood pressure to about
No!
206? Come on, Lucas.
That's
We can take it.
absolutely possible.
Stop trying to kill me.
I don't want to kill you. I just want to see you turn red.
I mean, that's awfully easy.
You
Oh,
just
no.
disappear with your beard. It would
Nice,
just be like,
slowly blend.
Where'd
We
he
need
go?
a new one. We need a new Owen prod.
There are many. You just got to find it. Yeah.
I know.
I'm not gonna help.
So no bucket shots. Bucket shots. Oh, and where do they fall?
I mean,
Bucket shots, one of the
Mutton
weird ones.
has won with bucket shots.
A bucket shot wouldn't be that bad because it's a clear background.
Let's
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
just
All
a
right.
light
All right.
box.
All right.
If you
That's-
put it in a bucket and I can't see that it's in a
in
bucket,
a bucket,
win.
fine. If it
I
looks
see
like
the top of the bucket, the handle, the side,
it looks
the
like a
logo that
goddamn
says
orange
bucket.
Home Depot bucket, no. Like it's
Yes.
eventually, guys, you got to use a little bit of common sense here.
Yeah. So
I
Yeah.
know I'm asking a lot.
you are asking
Yeah,
a lot, man.
So much.
So I can't enter my hog nose with a mustache in the thing.
I mean, you can understand that I will be the first one that will review all these pictures on who moves on to the next round. And
Yeah.
guess what? Ain't moving on to the next
The
round.
one that had the like the robotic legs and the little
Out.
mustache.
Just out.
Yeah,
Out.
see?
Out.
I don't know about this. I've been robbed 3 years in a row with this
I did not
calendar.
rob you. I did not rob you. Eric did because
I did?
Yes.
Yeah, I won the inland
You
category.
won, and then Eric's like changed things, and
Oh,
then
yeah, I
Lucas
did.
lost.
I just
Yeah.
said no, he's not winning.
Lucas, like, it was such a
And then
weird.
during COVID year, I literally brought a pair of Brittles pythons to the beach. I went to the beach and took pictures of them in the sand. And Owen was like, "Wild Brittles pythons, not in Australia, first place." But nobody else voted for me.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
Is that the case? Who did I
Well,
vote
no,
for?
but,
You voted for
didn't-
Travis Wyman.
yeah.
Did I?
I'll never forget.
Oh man, he has it dialed in. He's like, one day, Bert.
It
I
was
will
know.
just
get
in
you."
a
I know
log.
why.
It was just in a log. He didn't go to the beach.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, didn't you
You
enter,
just open the cage door and took a picture.
didn't you enter like diamond pythons, but then you lost to like a wild diamond python on
Yeah,
a rock
yeah. I'm
in a
looking at it right now. It's
picturesque
Joan
kind of
Payne.
like, and it was like, damn. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not mad about that one though.
I wouldn't be either. Yeah.
That one was okay, but we voted
Look
for
on the
that.
bright side, Lucas. I've never won or entered.
Yeah, that was a total. Yeah, I remember doing that, and you're like, I thought I won, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Well,
Thank God it
Lucas,
was
Lucas gets it. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
apologize.
Yeah, it's
One of these years, I'll get it right.
One of these years, we'll figure out who got that one calendar that you had special made for me with ball pythons in it.
Yeah, I don't know who got that.
Yeah,
It was
nobody's
funny
come
as shit.
forward. Yeah.
They made a special calendar for Owen with a ball python with. Did it have ears on? I think
It
it
had
had rabbit
unicorn.
ears.
It had
Or
a
unicorn.
unicorn
Yeah,
hat.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Never-
pretty funny.
never got it.
Flipping through, I was like, "Oh, this is great." He's
Yeah.
gonna be so pissed when he gets to December.
Never got it. You're like, oh, I hear we turned over to December.
Now.
Yeah, it's like a. You're like, oh, I heard we turned over to December. Yeah, it's an albino carpet python. Shit. What?
I waited all year for
Yeah,
you.
I know.
To get to December. And then when it came, it was like nothing. I was
Nothing.
like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Guess we should wrap it up.
so
right.
what we should say is cold-blooded caffeine for coffee.
Mhm.
Nom, 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 nom.
Exactly. Then we should say cold-blooded cafe for rodents. I just got a bunch of rodents from them today. So
Oh yeah, I have to tell you what I
you
need.
do. You have to tell me what you need because I have a standing order with them now, and I can add stuff.
Okay.
So
Lucky.
it's they came awesome. They came well packed, good sizes. I didn't really take a look at them too much. I just kind of dumped them in my freezer because
I've
they
been
arrived
using
while I was
them
at work.
forever, but yes.
Yep, you've been using them forever. Yes.
Yes.
And I will be feeding
There's a
them
code
this
with
weekend.
that.
There is.
MPR 10.
Right. Gets you 10% off your entire order. And if you watch their Facebook page, they have sales where
Big
you can
ones.
get 40% off of items.
So does that mean I can combine the two, Owen?
You can. So MPR 10 can
Whoa!
be added to those
People
discounts.
get crazy in this place.
That's half off.
Correct. I hate you both. So
But they still deliver the
Shut-
whole rodent,
shut
not just half
Shut
of it.
Okay.
God, I
MPR
want
10,
to go.
10% off. They put up special sales, 50% off. That's like half off.
You're right. And
Plus
oh,
10.
Jesus Christ. Apparently they're going to be adding quail as well as other items soon, so keep an eye out for all those. And they
David.
also offer like African software and like
Mhm.
hamsters and stuff too. So if you have some problem feeders,
Yep.
I hear that they do kind of deals on that stuff too. So
In all seriousness, though, the rodents are really good.
and right now I'm telling you that the price of rodents and the price of fucking everything is going up. So
Up,
Yeah.
up.
yeah, anything can help
Shit,
out.
sometimes I would just be happy with it when it would just cover shipping, right? You know,
Yeah,
like you're
yeah.
getting to it and you're like, I only have $400 to spend.
Right.
And it's like your box has 17%
much
more,
room.
and you're like, damn it, I want to fill it. And then you see the shipping cost, and you're like, no.
Yep. And then now with that count, it just takes like $40-$50 off, which
10%
covers pretty
of
much
a
shipping. Yeah.
$400 order.
Yeah.
That's free shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it. So
You bet your buns.
And especially
definitely
if you
go check
catch
that
it
out.
when
When they have those
when the
discounts, they usually
40%
have
off. Yeah.
those deals. They try to make some kind of discount deal thing for the weekend. So if you check out their Facebook page on Friday, they usually have what their weekend deal is going to be or what they have bulk items and what they're offering. And sometimes when they don't even know what to do, they'll even ask the public, what should we put on discount? So
I'm going to try that.
Everybody
Attention,
say
shopper.
medium rare.
Yeah, it's-
Attention, shoppers.
everyone say medium
What
rare.
do you want to be on sale today?
And that's when a riot starts in the Philadelphia grocery store.
Yes. So we do have an affiliate link for the cold-blooded caffeine as
Right.
well. Yes. So you can follow that out. I just got can't remember what blend it is, but it has the Medusa on it. It's actually pretty good.
I drank that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
The Canova one was pretty good. I liked it. I still got to say, man, Carpets and Coffee is the best one for me.
It is.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
My favorite one. So I want to throw this out there. Texas Carpet Fest is October 14th. It's from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Redlandia Zoo in Johnson City, Texas. You want to get in contact with Michael Taylor if you want more info, but basically you get to go hang out at the zoo. They're going to have food and drinks, an auction. Obviously, U.S. Dark auction type of deal. So they're doing a silent auction, and I think you can visit their website. That'll all be in the show notes, so you can just click over there and check it out. I believe they still have swag going on. I'll put that in the thing too. I got a nice Carpet Fest hat for the Herpin trip that we're about to go on. So
Melissa dragged me to Colombia because she's like, you're gonna have good boots when we go over to Scotland, and I'm like, good boots? I just wear these boots when I go herping. And she's like, and that's when you have to like bandage your feet and like survive through Australia. I'm like, you don't even know, like it's a herping trip. Silent.
She's not wrong.
The boots I got at Colombia, dude, they're awesome. They're comfortable as shit. And I'm
It's
like, this is what you could wear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's so much better when you actually
don't just go to Walmart and buy like the $20 boots and yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
What's going
We're
on?
leaving, but hello.
No one asked you. Get out of here.
Wait, no, and come in, enter.
No,
Join.
she can't hear you. She can't hear you, Lucas.
Join, please.
Yep.
No. This is where I need her number to text.
We have to conspire together to drive Owen to insanity.
What do you want? Yeah. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
What's up?
Hi. Owen was telling us about horses.
She can't hear you.
I heard that they gray.
No, I can't.
They're talking about horses and how they gray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all turn gray.
Well,
wow.
Lucas said they didn't turn he's like Lucas. I don't know. I forget what Lucas said, but
flea bitten grays don't turn gray. They're gray with flea bites.
got it. Thank you.
There you go.
Love you,
There
Tam.
you go. Oh, how cute. The cute side of Owen. We've seen the angry side of Owen, the sensitive side of Owen, and the cute side of Owen tonight.
Now he's turning beet red.
Full
I'm gonna
circle.
kill you.
On that note, we are out.
That's
Go ahead,
it.
Owen.
That's all we have for everybody tonight. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll catch everybody back here, I guess next week. I don't know when the hell schedules is, but more
Luke,
Morelia Python Radio
what are you talking
later.
about? Next week.
Later, damn it.
It's Dr. Zach.
Pushing buttons. Bye.
We're talking about